You see. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm,
Man.
that's funny. Mhm.
It's crazy. This is a different type of yawn from Soul, because usually it's the "Oh, what's up, guys? I just woke up," but now it's like, "Oh, what's up, guys? I just woke up." I think it's it's
No,
so
it's the years, so, like, I'm
Mhm.
very curious to, like, get back into that, you know?
I feel like this one feels so yeah, it feels this one feels I don't think I watched the last one, uh, or I don't remember it, but I know that this one just feels different. Like, it doesn't feel like it feels like a Hunger Games movie, but it's like its own thing, kind of. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty tight, pretty tight. Pretty and so, this is the year of folding, or the decade of folding, okay?
What do
It's,
you mean?
I don't know, it's, ask Macho to tell you why we don't have a backbone when it comes to decisions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry.
Macho, what did you do? Tell us all what you did.
Well, before I do, let me just make sure that everything's good on my end when it comes to my mic.
Yes, so
So
people can hear it.
you can hear me. All right.
What's the funny song?
This just
Sammy's like, what
Twitter
did you
post.
do, Walt?
I haven't done it
No,
yet, but what was that? So,
this Twitter post.
What I do?
No, not you, not you.
Oh, okay.
my man got self-conscious for a moment.
Yeah, I did real quick. I was like, wait, it's because of the salt pepper Joel tweet that I just sent out? Like, what's going on?
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's all right. You never know what I'm talking about half the time. You never pay attention to me. You whore.
Why would I?
You whore.
Whoa!
You whore.
TBA.
Everything's good on the audio though? Okay, cool. Thank. All right, so we're good to go.
Tell,
Cool.
tell, tell us all what you did.
We're
Uh,
talking about degenerate life right now, or we want to get the podcast started?
Wait,
Mm.
yeah, let's get the podcast started. Uh, Guys, welcome to the 113th episode of the DualShock and Sense podcast. I'm your host, Soul, the connoisseur, Ame Waifus, joined as always by my two co-hosts. Well, not always, but
Shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up.
anyway, we got Macho here. How you doing, man?
What's going on, everybody? The King of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy fanatic, your Boricua Macho, coming at you here. Yeah, man, sub to the channel, follow the Twitch channel. We're playing lots of games, having a lot of fun, doing some cool, just chatting streams, and then we're playing Kingdom Hearts 2, Alan Wake 2, and Yakuza 0. Man, it's been a great time. So make sure to follow the channel. We're gonna hit 50 followers by the end of the year. Help me reach this goal. We reached 31 last night, so we're getting there, man. We're getting there. So, did you follow the channel, by the way?
I was just
No.
about to
Oh,
ask you.
okay.
I haven't followed you.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't been on Twitch in God knows how long. So,
I got you.
but yeah,
I'll link you in that Discord. Set you
all
right.
right. We also got Walt here. What's going on, man? How you doing? Where you been? What's up?
I've been great, been working. Today I had Taco Bell breakfast for the first time ever in my life.
Wow.
Sheesh.
How are
Uh,
those
I
eggs?
know you. Yeah, I know your guts must be in fucking turmoil right now.
so Taco Bell put that bell in me and it got rearranged. No, it's good. It's actually really. I got the box, the breakfast box. I got the crunch wrap, the breakfast one. I got the bacon. It came with a hash brown and it came with two Cinnabon delights. It's crazy giving you Cinnabons for fucking breakfast, but it was good. I had an iced tea, or not an iced tea, iced coffee. I've been having a lot of the iced tea with lemonade lately. It's a fire combination. Um, but yeah, man, no, these guts are good.
That's a crazy ass
Plus,
breakfast, dude. That's a lot.
it is what it is, man. I've been. Oh, let me say something. This year, for the first time in my life, I tried mac and cheese. Um, I had never done that ever, and let me tell you, anywhere that has mac and cheese, I'm ordering that shit. It's
That's
so
You
good.
hear this soul? He told me on
that's
the phone earlier this week. I was like, "What?"
Hey,
that's
man, I don't know. People were asking me, "Where did you?" No, I had someone legit go, "Where did you grow up?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean where I grew up? In an island?" But
You,
yeah, man.
and
Uh,
they got put mac and cheese in Puerto Rico, bro. I know you fronting.
yeah, but like that people ain't like, oh, like give you no. It's like usually like Chef Boyardee, like that's like the thing there. But I don't like that. I actually don't like Chef Boyardee. So like,
Yeah, so it
um,
tastes like aluminum.
it is
That's
what it
why.
is. What was that?
It tastes like aluminum. That's why.
Yeah, no, man, it tastes like Uh, but aside from that, man, lots of games too. Been playing. Don't, I haven't been here much, but I've been playing. It's just that not too many games, just like a few games, a lot of them. But yeah, man. How about you, Soul? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Same old, same old. School, work, book stuff. Um, yeah, we're doing the damn thing, man.
How's that book coming
Uh,
along?
it's good. I haven't told you guys, or I haven't even told Walt this, but yeah, I made like a separate Instagram account just for the
Ooh,
book, and so like just spending these like couple maybe like the next 6 months or so, just focus on like marketing and talking about it before like ramping up to launch. And I started it in like September, I think, and I already have like 620 followers, which is pretty cool. Which is crazy because like, oh, I finally get like some attention on this account, but on my main Instagram, no. You know what I mean? Damn, okay, I see
Damn.
how it is. But no, it's cool. Like I actually have like a little community on there, and like people
Mhm.
interacting with my posts and stuff like that. It's cool. It's cool. So
Nice.
yeah. So getting ready for launch, hopefully first half of the year, 2024
Ooh.
next year. Um,
Dope.
but yeah, that's up with me, man. We in terms of the podcast, I want to remind everyone, go ahead and like the podcast, share it out, all that good stuff. And we got a few topics to get through. Couple big ones. But before we do that, of course, we're gonna talk about the games that we've been playing these past 2 weeks. I guess I'll go first because mine's really just, as always, it's just an extension of what I've been doing for like, I don't know, since like September, really. Just Baldur's Gate 3, knocked out a couple major quests this week. So just kind of again just chipping away slowly but surely, but we're getting there. We are that quest list is getting smaller and smaller, so we're definitely getting there. And then just dabbling in Alan Wake 2 here and there. It's really just bouncing back and forth between these two games. I have Ghost Runner 2 on my PS5, but haven't gotten to start it just yet. But yeah, just Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3, just bouncing back and forth between those two games, and they're both fantastic, man. I'm really enjoying both of them, of course. Um, so yeah, and then just like the other thing I'll talk about really quickly is Resident Evil Death Island because we brought it up in the pre-show.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like if you go into it with the expectation of like, hey, I just want to see my favorite Resident Evil characters all teaming up to kill some zombies, and that's all that you want from this movie, that is what you're going to get. And that's pretty much the movie. That's
Awesome. That's what I want.
yeah, that and like like it's obviously it's a lot better than Welcome to Raccoon City in my opinion.
Oh, that's
But it's
garbage. Yeah, don't even. That's garbage.
yeah, but it's like it's pretty much in line with like all the other Resident Evil like CG movies and then things like that. So
Mm.
yeah, it's although there was a few moments with so obviously like because I'm sure you've seen like some of like the promotional like posters and the trailers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jill is like obviously she's like front and center this time around, um which feels it almost feels like a sequel to Resident Evil 5 in a weird way because it addresses a lot of the things of like damn, like Jill is finally back in the game after everything that happened to her in Resident Evil 5. Her kind of like dealing with that, but like my biggest gripe with the movie is that it doesn't it really just scratches the surface with that stuff, and like Chris and Jill kind of talking about that everything that happened in Resident Evil 5, like we only scratched the surface. I really wish that they delved like a lot deeper into that stuff. Um but they didn't. Um, so that was kind of my biggest gripe about that. And I guess it's the fault of like the movie trying to juggle all these characters at the same time. Maybe that's
Mhm.
why they couldn't really do it. Um, but it is what it is. The villain is so so funny. There's so he's got oh let me see if I can remember this really quickly. So one of the things is that this villain has like, he walks around with a cane, right? And like they the beginning of the movie is like they actually start with the villain. They show like a flashback to the villain during the whole like the day zero or day zero when when ish hits the fan in Raccoon City, right? The
Hmm.
villain is like there when it happens and stuff. So it's cool to kind of see that from that character's angle. But then it's like you fast forward to the present day, and it's like he has like all these like quirks in terms of like him not being able to walk right. He has a cane. He has like some other kind of like physical things going on, and it's like I didn't need those things like explained like they're like so first of all you see the reasoning as to like why he walks with a cane, right? The injury that he sustained that makes him, you know, have the cane in present day, but he does this thing with his cane that he like taps on the ground like really aggressively, like he goes like dun 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 dun, like just like slamming his cane into the ground, and it's like they they like go back through a flashback explaining like why he does that. It's just like things like that that's just so silly. Like I don't need explained at all, you know. But I will admit, like the villain, as silly as he is, um, like I think his name is like Dylan Blake or something like that. Like it's just like the most like Capcom, like Japanese, like American villain name. You know what I mean? But the one thing
Ew.
that I will say,
Ew.
right? Uh, the one thing I will say about him is that he has this like this speech with like against like when he with all like the Resident Evil characters present, and like, you know, he's not a great character, but this speech, like he's basically like roasting all the main Resident Evil protagonists in this speech and like calling out all of them on their shit. And I'm like, huh, he's bringing up some really good points about Leon, about Chris, especially. The thing that he said about Chris, I was nodding my head. I was like, huh, that's a really good point. So,
So how
you
do you
know,
punch that fucking boulder in Resident Evil 5?
no, not that. But no, like some like legit like serious things about these flaws that these characters have that like they really, with all these years later, they really haven't addressed, and this villain comes up and he actually like points it out, and it was, to me it was like, huh, that's a really good moment. But yeah, aside from that, it's you know, you probably won't remember it the day after you watch it, you know. It's it's one of those movies. But yeah, just in terms of like, it felt very Avengers-esque in in the sense of like, hey, we're getting all of these like legendary characters together who like yes, of course, like Jill and Chris have worked together. Leon and Claire obviously have worked together, but like I don't think Walt, correct me if I'm wrong, we've never seen Leon and Jill work together in a game before, right?
No, unless they like encounter themselves in Raccoon City, but no, no game like with them together specifically.
Right. So
Yeah.
like it was really cool like having scenes between those two characters together. Like obviously they've heard of each other, but they've never like worked alongside each other. So that was awesome to see. So yeah, it was very like, and then when you get up to that big climax of the movie when all of them come together in the final battle and just seeing them working together, like yeah, like that's the meat and potatoes of that movie, man, is getting to those little interactions between each of them and then all of them finally coming together was pretty cool to see. Um,
Sounds really
Nice.
cool.
yeah.
The
Um,
animation kind of throws me off a little bit in that movie, just because it's trying to go for like the hyper realism generated graphics, but it
mhm.
Right.
just looks dullish. If that's like the right
Eh,
term.
you get used to it. I thought it was fine. I didn't have any real issues with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. Um, But yeah, I thought it was a pretty okay time. So yeah, congratulations, Sony and Capcom on a it is definitely one of the Resident Evil movies of all time. So it fits snugly with the rest of the other Resident Evil movies.
They really can't hit a home run with one of these, man. They really can't.
Yeah.
I think also they should pull a Castlevania with like that animation style and like kind of that approach to the mythos. Like make
Yeah.
it just make it. I'd watch a Resident Evil 2 anime, like kind of like make it very anime-ish or like a 4 episode. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a movie, a fan servicey movie, because it's like the most. I think the movies are trying to do what Resident Evil 6 tried to do, like the really fan servicey, like all these people colliding and meeting up, and like, oh my God, but it's like
It's hype, but
there's no.
it's
Yeah,
forgettable.
it's hype, but there's no story. Like there, you with the Resident
Yeah.
Evil, not that the story is peak, but you need something to tie everything up, and like finding out Tyrant and finding out Nemesis and all these things. But I don't.
Yeah,
I,
the story is pretty paper thin. It
mm,
really is just about like the character interactions and obviously Jill dealing with her what happened to her in Resident Evil 5.
hmm.
Um, but yeah,
That's cool though. That's cool that they
that's
um
that.
it's like a follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely was much appreciated because for us Jill fans, we really haven't gotten much from her since
Yep.
Revelations 1, I think,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, which was great.
So
Which was great, but I know I love Jill. I think she's like one of the best characters in that entire series for me.
mhm.
Yeah.
Her and Claire, but Jill's especially because of 5, my attachment with that, and just
Mhm.
Yeah.
for her to get like such less limelight is like why she's such a like everybody loves Jill. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not because she's in everything, but because like she just stands out above the rest. So
I mean, she's one of the OGs. She's like, it's crazy that
the master of unlocking.
Chris has gotten as much like limelight as he has, and not Jill, when they're both like the originators. Like they're both like the first to survive like a fucking endeavor with zombies.
Yeah, like can you
But
imagine if instead of Chris at the end of Resident Evil 7 or like a pivotal part of 8, it was Jill instead?
fucking Jill shows up,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, that would have been like
I
that
think
that would
Soul
have that would have
would
been the
have a heart
character
attack.
arc that would have been the character arc that Soul's been looking for. Where like,
Oh
man,
man.
all should have happened in 5 and now you see her. Yeah.
Oh man. I'm glad that they did the like that little mission at Spencer Mansion where they like recap the first one where you
Oh
play as
yeah, that
Jill
was
and
cool.
Chris. It's really dope.
Yeah, that was a cool DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Resident Evil Death Island. Um, yeah. What about you guys? What
Cool
you guys
stuff.
been up to?
I'll go real quick. I've been playing Mario Wonder, and I don't know if any of y'all have even. I mean, I know that Macho has it, but I don't know if Soul you're
No, I don't
familiar
have it.
with.
I don't have it yet.
You don't have it? You told me you got it.
No. We don't got it yet. We've been busy with other
Oh
stuff.
man, what a poser. But yeah, I've been playing Mario Wonder. I've been playing been playing a little bit of how you say Spider-Man. I've been playing Spider-Man. Uh, and I've been trying to, because I have it on Steam Deck. I'm playing Baldur's Gate on the Steam Deck when I can, but I can only get an hour in, so the Steam Deck feels like it's gonna take off. Um, that game, yeah, that's not the best decision I made, but I've been doing that. I've been, oh my God, what's the game on PlayStation? A game that I've been playing or that I downloaded or re-downloaded. Oh, like a while ago, but I haven't touched it. I had re-downloaded Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Um, and I still have that in the back burner, kind of getting into it.
Yuck.
Uh, yeah, hey man, sometimes we're pigs and we step into our own shit and like it. Um,
That's
what I
a
will say,
wild analogy to say that you made a shit purchase decision.
no, I had it. I bought it for $10 a while ago. It's
Okay.
pretty good. No, but right now, what I am, kind of debating on, and I haven't had the chance to tell Macho about it because it's a well, I think I mentioned it once, but it's Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name. But here's the thing, that's a movie. That's a
Nice.
goddamn movie
I
of a
was
game.
I was just I was really interested in getting that, but then I saw someone talking about it on a show or something, and they said it's like hours wise, it's oh wait, no. I don't I actually think it may be Infinite Wealth, maybe the
What?
other one. That's it's clocking in as like the longest Yakuza game.
Wow.
Just
I
Yeah,
crazy.
mean,
so one of those two. Like I was interested in getting one of those two, and then when I heard that, I was immediately like, okay, I'm not gonna get
I
it.
mean, like a dragon, uh, the man who raised his name. I think that one's supposed to like tie into with Kiryu's story and how it ties into Infinite Wealth. But it makes sense that Infinite Wealth is the longest because it does have both both protagonists in it, and it's turn based. And you know
Yeah.
when something's turn based, that's a JRPG. I think this is like the first official, like, oh no, that's a JRPG, like through and through. If it's clocking in at so many hours, if it's Persona level, it's like 100 hours to beat once. I don't mind.
You sure
I
they're
don't
not
mind it.
talking about just like the content in there, Soul? Because they have like a full on like build your own little island and stuff like that. So they have a lot in that game.
Which all the Yakuza's have their own like addictive mini game.
Mhm.
I know that most of my time in the Yakuza games, at least with Zero and Like a Dragon, were the big like the cabaret, the hostess club, the
Right.
real estate, the what is it, the cookies, the crackers that you sell in Like a Dragon. Um,
Sure.
oh man, it gets insane. You can hire a chicken as a manager in Yakuza Zero. It's crazy. Um, No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name, I'm not like super like, oh, I want to get to it like right now because I feel like it's a main title, but I feel like it's the Miles Morales of between Like a Dragon, Man Who Erased His Name, and Infinite Wealth because it's not like a main title.
Mm.
So
It might be the
I don't
perfect
know.
lead up game to Infinite Wealth anyway, you know?
For sure, yeah. And that's why you go on YouTube and you'll have almost the same experience as playing the game. This is not slander. This is just facts that the Yakuza games are 70% movies, and then the rest is a beat 'em up. But
Yep.
yeah, man. I've just been playing Spider-Man and Mario Wonder, and wondering when I'm gonna get to the other game because
Nice.
I have so many. Yeah, right. And been debating some things, some foldings and stuff like that. So we'll see what games we play in the next couple of months. Macho, tell now what have you been doing, huh?
I've been a good boy. Oh, you've been talking about.
You been a good boy?
Yeah, I've
What you
been a
do,
good
Macho?
boy.
Tell the people what you did.
I didn't do nothing except be a good boy. That's all I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You told everyone when I bought Pokemon, right?
I didn't tell everybody. You told everybody. You ratted yourself out when you bought Pokemon.
I
You
don't.
do
I
slut. You're the one that floated
Oh.
like a lawn chair, you whore.
So ask him what he did.
He
What
doesn't.
happened?
He doesn't give a shit. You hear the tone of his voice. He don't care. He just wants to hear the games on play, so you get to the topics.
I don't care either. It's just funny.
So as I was about to get to, yeah, man, sub to the Burico Macho channel on YouTube. We have playthroughs and live streams of so far Kingdom Hearts 2, Yakuza 0, which yeah, this is definitely one of those. So Yakuza 0 is probably like one of the hardest games to stream because it's literally 80% cutscenes and the rest is gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but we're gonna get
popcorn.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out the schedules because, funnily enough, fellas, right? I wanted to do the Twitch streaming and really start delving more into it as like a more of a long-term hobby with Final Fantasy games, of course, right? Final Fantasy Fanatic, Kingdom Hearts, all that kind of, all that jolly stuff. And every time I stream a Final Fantasy game, I get the most viewers. But when it's anything else, it's crickets. Like even Alan Wake 2, I get I'm just starting out, but like even like the other stuff is like not as good as like the Final Fantasy streams, which is actually pretty interesting. So there you go. That's fate, I guess, right? Any case, Yakuza 0, having a lot of fun with it though, regardless. I think the story's really fun and good. The gameplay's great. The side quests are wild as hell, with the first one being to basically get this girl to stop selling her panties because there's this underground club that this other girl's doing where she's like basically recruiting other girls to sell their used panties to creeps online and stuff like that. Like that was the very first side mission we did, and Jesus Christ, man. This game is
like reality.
this game is fucking wild. I didn't even get to Majima yet. but so far it's doing some really good stuff. I'm liking
You
it a
did
lot.
get to the fisting.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, the little clip I put up on TikTok. Yeah, this fucking Bacchus that was like, yeah, he's a fisting artist. I'm like, he's a what? and every time they kept saying the word fighting, I kept replacing the word fighting with fisting in my head because of freaking Bacchus, man. That Bacchus. Yes. Bacchus. That's what I call him now. But in any case, so that's been really fun. Alan Wake 2, the first couple hours, Soul, I couldn't stop thinking about. I'm so pumped to get back to that on Monday. It's not even funny. Because that was just like, what a atmospheric page turner sort of story that this is. And all I did was just look up like the GameSpot video, basically like recapping what happened in Alan Wake 1 and a little bit of Control and stuff like that. And I was still following along pretty easily. But the way it just sets up his story, and then the scares and the intrigue and the other world and stuff like it's all so fascinating to me. And I'm absolutely loving it. So it's been a good time. And I've been scared a couple times already, which is like a nice change of pace from Resident Evil 4. So
yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and speaking of Resident Evil 4, we actually finished that on the stream too. I did like a full 8-hour stream on a Sunday, and we just completed the game from chapter 10 to the very end of it. And I can see why, you know, a little foreshadowing for our future topic, but I can see why it's getting Game of the Year nomination. 100%. It's an absolutely fantastic game. I love the little callbacks that they do, like Ashley unlocking the door for Leon. She's like, oh, I guess I'm the master of unlocking now. I'm like, I see what you did there. That was cute. All right, I'll give you that one, Capcom. I'll give you that one, man. Yeah, and overall, it's like a really, really great game, man. I think it's just a great action adventure Resident Evil title. I don't know if I like it more than Resident Evil 8 or Village.
No, you don't like it more than Village?
No, I don't think so, because Village was sort of, it was like the jack of all. Well, no, I can't even say that because House of Beneviento, which is so masterful. It's just like I love the carousel of scares that game had. Whereas,
do you like it more than Resident Evil 2 remake?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I think that's a better comparison.
It's just because like these older games are they just have a different flavor to them, a different kind of like survival horror to them. Because even Resident Evil 4, there's definitely more than a couple moments where like I jumped in my seat or it scared the hell out of me or it was super intense. But like there are just pockets of moment in Resident Evil Village. I was just like, I'll remember this forever. And I didn't really have that Resident Evil 4, but regardless, it was still a lot of fun. So
for sure.
But and on that, I think that's just about it, really. I mean, starting up Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's obviously an amazing game, best game ever made. Stand by in this.
Okay.
And it's freaking fantastic, and I'm loving it. And I think that's really it, really. Yeah, that's it for me on my end. Don't need to worry about what I've been doing otherwise. So yeah.
All right, we're on. So yeah, let's get into some of these topics. Let's first. What happened?
He bought the OLED.
Oh, the OLED Switch?
The Steam Deck.
And you didn't get the PlayStation Portal.
Fuck no.
I actually kind of want to. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
It's been getting good reviews, man.
Yeah, get a Switch before you get a Portal. What's wrong with you?
It looks pretty cool, man.
I'm just gonna ask you, what game are you gonna be playing on the Portal where you're like, oh, I had to finish this outside?
See, I could see that being like my indie device, where I play my indies, and then obviously on my big TVs where I play like I'm not gonna play something like Alan Wake or Baldur's Gate on the Portal, right? Or something like Ghost Runner where I need that to be, you know, like latency free, you know. But like small games like Sea of Stars or Cocoon or something like that, like yeah, I could play it on the Portal.
Funny enough, I've been hearing some spaces on it and just different kinds of reviews, and the one consensus, or it's a consensus around like what this thing does right, is that it works. except when it doesn't. So
Oh, okay.
so you better make sure that Wi-Fi is crispy. All right, just make sure
Yeah,
it's nice
yeah.
and good.
That fiber optic.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna be lagging everywhere. So
Gotcha. But yeah, so let's get into let's talk about since this is the most recent thing that happened. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
your sabotage didn't work. Well, suck my ass.
Yeah,
What's that?
What happened? You said
Huh?
You said Last of Us Part 2.
Fuck Macho.
You said Last of Us Part 2. Continue. So why'd you stop?
I was waiting for you guys to talk about whatever you guys were talking about. Okay, so this all kind of happened in like I don't just like randomly yesterday. So we had like a leak that was pulled from like the PlayStation either the network or the store. I'm gonna say it was the network like back end. And like everything leaked, like the whole goddamn trailer leaked. And then like the details of like what's actually going to be included, the release date, blah blah blah, all that was leaked. And then shortly after, Naughty Dog and PlayStation was just like, okay, let's just go ahead and reveal it. So yeah, major bullet points. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, as we've all figured for quite some time, is indeed real. It is coming to PS5 on January 19th. Some of the things that is including is a new mode called No Return, a roguelike mode, which is very cool.
Fire.
Lost,
Fire.
yes. Lost levels with dev commentary, which is also very cool.
Very cool.
Guitar free play, which whatever. I don't like that that's being advertised as a major addition. We'll see what it is, but if it's what I think it is, then I think that's pretty lame. Which I think it's just that what Gustavo, the composer of the games, said earlier was that, hey, you could actually go up to me and uh go and ask like request what song to play from his character in the game. If it's just that, then it's disappointing. But if it's like a actual mode that you can hop into and just like pluck away your guitar for fun, then I guess that's all right. I guess I don't know. Graphical enhancements, okay, DualSense integration, and more. Which like a bunch of like new outfits and playable characters are being added. Which I don't know if that's just for the no return mode or if that's just like in general, like you can have multiple different outfits for new outfits for your character or for Ellie and Abby and stuff like that. The other big thing is that this has an upgrade path, $10. If you own the game on PS4, you pay $10 to be able to own it on PS5. No other additional cost, which cool, awesome. That's the big difference right there. I would have a bigger issue with this if it was priced like part 1. But since this is
Part 1's a remake.
right, which we don't need to get into, but obviously that was the big hang up that everyone had, despite it being a remake, was that it was the $70 price tag.
Sure.
But yeah, since this is just gonna cost us, since we already own the game, $10, and hey, you can go on the PlayStation Store right now and probably pick up the game for like less than $20, right?
Nope, it's $40 right now.
It's 40.
Oh, yeah, I checked.
It's
40.
Yeah,
It's 40.
That's still $20 off.
It's 40. What? Where? I saw 40 yesterday.
No, no. Okay, so the full price, the whole game is 70, right?
No. You're talking about Last of Us Part 1. We're talking about 2.
No, that's what I mean. Part 2. So Part 2 remaster. How much will that be?
Oh, we don't know yet. Didn't say.
Well, you would imagine it's gonna be a full 70.
Yeah.
So if it's a full 70 and you buy the 40, then you just have to pay the 10. So that's $50. You don't have to pay the 20. That's what I mean.
No, yeah, it's just Soul said that you could probably get it for under $20, but I checked the price on Last of Us Part 2 in the store. It's $40. Amazon, PSN, eBay, like everywhere. So
Yes, that's what I mean, Macho. So it's still $20 off.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I mean, sure, but okay.
Okay. I for whatever reason I thought it would be cheaper, but then again I forgot that Sony lately has been taking a page out of the Nintendo playbook and doing the Nintendo tax on their games lately, you know. Not as egregious as the Nintendo tax, you know, but we're kind of in that realm. But yeah. So my biggest takeaway is that I think this is pretty harmless with that $10 upgrade path. If that was not there, I would have a bigger issue with this, but since that $10 upgrade path is there, fine, whatever, not a big deal to me. But yeah, what about you guys? Macho, obviously we've talked about this. You know, I've kind of lately have been feeling frustrated as well with Naughty Dog because of you know the rumors about this specifically. But yeah, what about you, man? Now that we finally have confirmation that this thing is real, it's coming relatively soon. How are you feeling?
It's fine now because we can officially say that Naughty Dog has more remasters for the Last of Us series than they actually do games in the series. So that's pretty wild to say. Actually, that's a fact. It's something you cannot fight in the courts. That's something that's right there on paper. But in any case, it was funny because I was actually listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily talking about the Last of Us. Was it like a part 2 remaster or something like that, or whatever the case may be? But basically, they're just talking about the potential of like a remaster, and that that Sony's gonna charge $70 for it, but what's gonna be the justification of it? It's not like, oh, is it gonna be 70? No, we know it's gonna be $70, but what's the reason why it would cost? We got our answer, and it's that roguelike survival mode. That's what they've been working on behind the scenes to put into this thing to make it feel like a fresh new package. So and I don't know if it's like completely warranted. I mean, we have to see like how fleshed out that mode really is for it to be like, oh yeah, putting $70 on this is, you know, is fine. But in any case, I think it's really cool just the stuff that they're adding to it. Like I said, the guitar mode is kind of like whatever. It'd be cool. That'd be cool for someone like a kid playing that or whatever. Like, or if someone that just wants to learn guitar, they could just kind of just mess around in there. But obviously this game's not for kids. Not as Grand Theft Auto, but that's besides the point. In any case, yeah, the roguelike survival mode sounds really awesome. The fact that we get multiple playable characters is pretty cool. I'm not gonna be jumping on it day one, but it's definitely something in the back of my mind whenever I want to play this series. That's something that's gonna be there for me that I can jump into since the gameplay is really good. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Well, what about you?
Not day one, but I shared that on Instagram. I was like, well, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it because PS5, my guy. That's the thing. I keep forgetting that when I played Last of Us Part 2, it was the PS4 version, but it didn't feel like it. Now imagine how that feels on PS5. And the roguelike, it just sounds so appealing. And I wonder, like, will it have story implications? Is it gonna tie into the factions thing? I don't know. Like, are there Easter eggs? What's the extent of the roguelike? Like, that's the main thing for me. And it's $10 for me. I got the game. So like it doesn't hurt to get it, honestly, for me. Um, what I will say, if there's people that were on the fence about it and now they're on board with Last of Us because of the show, and now they're like, oh man, I really want to play part 2 because I just finished part 1. I can't wait for season 2. All right, good for you. There's a PS5 version now. Yeah, no, uh, I'm not as passionate about the Naughty Dog, like lacking like new IP and whatever. But it's noticeable. It I find it funny when I saw the announcement, although I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely getting that." I laughed. I was like, "That's hilarious." I did not think they would do it. I legit thought it was just gonna be like an upgrade, like a PS5 upgrade. No, it's like a legit Last of Us Part 2 remastered. That is hilarious. Um, but yeah, man, I'm good for them. I like how Neil posted this picture of his, I assume it's his office, and it shows all of the Last of Us like covers like in steelbook, and it shows the latest one. I don't know if this one's gonna have a steelbook. If it is, and the art is what I think it is, the one I saw on Instagram,
Yeah, that's
uh,
the art for it.
That's enticing as hell. That looks so cool because it's
Yeah.
actually like a landscape kind of thing with Abby and Ellie. So
Mhm.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And you know what's cool about like the marketing for this game now? It's at the beginning, it had to be super low key and like Ellie. Now it's like Ellie and Abby. And I like that. I like that they're able to just kind of be like, yeah, just fucking depressing ass story.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this like the similarities between Joel and Abby struck out to me even
Yeah.
more when I saw the covers. I was like, wow. Okay,
Mhm.
they ate with that thematic element there. That's what's up.
Yeah, Lev was Abby's Ellie in a way. Um
Mhm.
and you know what would have been cool instead of the guitar mini, which the guitar mode, I've seen people just like the sections where you do have to play guitar, they'll go free roam and like kind of play songs and like, like full songs. I see this as like a nice little thing for people that might indulge in it. Oh yeah, let's make a song and let me post it. This is how you play I don't fucking know, Sweet Child of Mine
No,
on
people
Last
will
of Us or
definitely
something.
use that. Yeah, people do that all the time in Final Fantasy 14. Like they'll
Yeah, there
actually
you
get like
go.
a group together and dress up to the nines and like have like a concert. They'll do the exact same thing here for Last of Us Part 2.
There you go. That sounds cool. And
Yeah.
I'm sad they didn't include like a golf mini game or something. But it is what it
That joke is so fucking old, dog. I wish people would stop with that
is.
shit. Legit, everybody online is like, man, I hope I hope Joel's a good golfer. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dog, please. We get it. All right, we get it. We're gonna have the same.
You get it?
We're gonna have the same goddamn thing when season 2 comes out, bro. Jeez,
Yeah. When they release the 4K edition, it's gonna come with a golf club.
that's wild. I hate y'all.
Um, but yeah, I don't think there's really too much else to really
No?
say about this.
Nah.
It
Just
is, it
Naughty
is,
Dog, bless us with a new IP soon, please.
it is what it is. I was talking to Gene off air about this, and my big concern, because I maybe it's copium, but I just based off of the showcase panning out the way that it did, and us knowing that they have a lot of things in the oven right now. I'm not talking about Naughty Dog, but PlayStation as a whole. And the fact that we haven't seen Concord in a long time since May, and it's apparently coming out next year. Obviously, Death Stranding, we've known about that for a year. Wolverine, we've known about that for since 2021, right? I was
Mhm.
talking to Gene, and I was like, this could not have been Sony's like big video Game Awards announcement, right? Because that was my concern, was that like this thing got leaked early ahead of the Game Awards, and then it's like, okay, it got officially announced early, 3 weeks before the Game Awards, and then they're gonna have to show it anyway at the Game Awards, right? Again, it kind of like the same thing, kind of a rinse and repeat situation of what happened at Summer Games Fest, last year when Part One got leaked. It got leaked before the show, and well, they still had to show it at Summer Games Fest, even though we already knew about it, right?
Mhm.
So I was talking to Gina. I was like, "Do you think that this was one of Sony's big announcements for the Game Awards?" And he was saying no, because if you look at the pre-orders, the pre-orders go up on the 5th of December. Game Awards is on the 7th or the 8th, right?
That's 7.
Uh, 7th. So no, you're not gonna have you're so that's impossible, right? You wouldn't have they theoretically, if this wasn't leaked, then this would have been announced before the Game Awards, because obviously the pre-orders went up before the Game Awards. So
But
Mhm.
what if they move that date up?
move what date up?
The
They
pre-order date
anticipate
up.
the leak?
The what?
What if they move the pre-order date up?
You mean after the Game Awards?
No, after the leak.
Mm.
Well, I mean the date was announced like alongside the announcement, so you know what I mean? Like, so
Well,
you mean delay it?
no, because you said that the pre-order dates are going to be December 5th, right? That's when you could pre-order The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
Yeah.
What if that date was December 7th instead, but behind the scenes they're like, oh, it leaked. Let's move up the pre-order date a couple days earlier.
I mean, was it in the trailer?
The pre-order date? Oh, I don't know. Actually, that's a good
Because
question.
if it's in a trailer, then that I don't see how they do that in a couple of hours. How they
Yeah.
change all of that in a couple of hours. But if it's not, then I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
But regardless, that what I'm trying to say with all this is that like
Mhm.
that's a good thing because I was telling Gene that like okay, so if this wasn't planned to be a Game Awards announcement, then more than likely they were just going to announce this with a blog post, and that makes sense because the game is going to be out in 3 months. So I don't think they view it as like a big time announcement worthy of like showing up at the Game Awards. So like in my mind, again, this goes to the copium thing of like, okay, they have to have other bigger announcements at the Game Awards, you would hope, other than Death Stranding 2. Um, so because that was my biggest fear is that we knew Last of Us Part 2 remastered or director's cut as we thought it was going to be for the longest time, that the Game Awards was where they were going to announce it. Now that it's out of the way, it's like, okay, hopefully this opens the door for other things to be announced, possibly. So
Copium.
exactly.
That's why you called it
Um, yeah.
that.
Yep.
Did anyone spot a War? I think it was Wario's tweet where they said Last of Us Part 2 PS4 versus PS5, and it looks
Yeah.
damn near
Exactly.
similar.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why I didn't,
I
why
was
I
dying.
personally didn't see the point in this, but whatever.
I was dying. I was like, oh damn.
But I mean, then again, you could have said the same thing for The Last of Us to The Last of Us Remastered back in 2013, 2014. I mean, did
Yeah.
it? I mean, you guys can tell me better than what I can, but did it look any better when you played the remastered version versus the 2013 version?
It did. I think it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. It's
It looked
based.
better.
It's a similarity of like if you're playing something on a tube TV versus an HD TV. Like you saw the
Mhm.
difference, even if it like felt familiar. You know,
Because
So
I remember
much cleaner.
I don't know if this was quote unquote a remaster. I maybe not, but I remember playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Originally bought it on the PS3, and
mhm.
then I got it on PS4. I don't remember how they handled that. If it was just like a free upgrade or if I had to rebuy it or whatever, but I was able to play it on my PS4, not through backwards compatibility, but by some other upgrade thing that Ubisoft did. And
Mhm.
I just remember that the biggest difference that I noticed between the two versions is that when you're out in sea and you're on your ship, and there's like storms, the biggest difference that to this day I remember is that there was noticeably more water that would spill onto your deck, like the deck of your ship. Like it looked on the PS4 version, it looked like your deck was like flooding when you were out in sea, and then on the PS3 version, there was like barely any water on the deck. And back then, man, I was like, "Oh my God, look at the detail! Like this was crazy. I feel like I'm out in the water." Like that was
Uh,
wild back then.
I
Yeah,
think that
Last of Us remaster wasn't really like more like it was more like it was cleaner. Obviously, it's on it was like 1080p or something like that, or more HD, whatever the case may be, and at 60
but if you were to
frames.
play if you were to play Last of Us Part 2 remaster and then go back to Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4 version, if you go that order, you're gonna feel a difference. Like there's always, even if the difference is like you said, so the water spilling onto the deck, like there's more foliage, there's more, I don't know, like the faces look fine tuned. If maybe now Ellie scratches her butt when she's running, I don't know. Like you lose the charm when you go back a generation. Sometimes there are little nuggets here and there of like improvement, but I don't know much about the remaster to tell you about it. I mean, we can only discern from what we saw in the trailer. But who's to say now the grunts are more varied? What if there's new lines, and it's not just "Damn, and now what if it's like, oh my god, they killed David, no, and you see a girl like kneeling down to the court next to the court, being like, "No, stop!" That would be amazing. Imagine that. But I don't know like the extent of the damn thing. So
No, it's not anything like that. It's just
you don't know, Macho. Are you a developer?
it says in the goddamn blog post. Well, if you actually took a time and read it,
who cares?
You, what are you talking about it? We're in a podcast. What the fuck?
No, I know. I'm just like they shouldn't like I don't know. It's copium, I guess. Like I'm hoping that that they do have more stuff than just what they're talking about, and then it's like, oh yeah, we didn't tell you about this, but in actuality now, Abby has a mini game at the gym, and you're like, whoa,
Oh god,
really?
I mean, when it comes to just like the enhancement stuff, it's just unlocked frame rate for TVs that support VRR, text resolution bump, you get more level detail distances, improved shadow quality, animation sampling rate, whatever that means. But basically, like all like the little subtle stuff that'll make the experience more whole, you're gonna get that in this version. That's like that's why part 1, even though people like to like really kind of like make fun of that, but when you play that thing and you compare it to what we've played 10 years ago, holy shit, what a jump. Like it's
I want people to play
day.
part 1 and then play the PS3 version on a PS3 and tell me with a straight face, no, it feels the same.
Yeah, they're gonna feel every frame of those 30 frames in that PS3 version. I guarantee you.
You're gonna feel every click from every clicker. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, seriously.
The last thing I'll say about this, we had where is it? Jordan Middler, who is he writes over at VGC. So he's like pretty credible. You should actually like read his reviews and stuff like that. He's really really good. But someone on Twitter was complaining about, oh, like if I was Sony, I would let my, top tier studio actually make new things instead of like going back to, The Last of Us and stuff like that, right? Which fair, right? But Jordan Middler, he said on Twitter, from what I was told from one person, this was more of a project for new hires to get them in the game. Druckmann's team is full steam ahead on an original. One doesn't take away from the other as far as I know. So there's that.
No, good.
Good. So, which I mean, like, obviously, right? It's not like it's not like the entirety of Naughty Dog is working on The Last of Us Part 2 remaster. So, like,
yeah, this was B team project, yeah,
or possibly even C team, right?
Yeah.
We right. So, like,
it's probably the receptionist.
but and it's like, yes, like of course, like we know that, right, that Neil is off. We've known that for a while. He's off working on something else, but again, like the frustration comes when it's like, okay, we get The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020 and we hear rumblings of fashions, after that, or kind of like during that whole like leading up to that game and even after. And then we get part 1, and then there's rumblings of part 2 remastered. Part 1 comes out, and then, still more rumblings about part 2 remastered, and then we finally get part 2 remastered. And it's like, so like we've just been in this rut of The Last of Us for so long that, like, yes, I understand people's frustration with that. I'm frustrated by that too. But yeah, so like I think it's okay to be frustrated, but at the same time acknowledge that, like, it's not like this is all they are doing. They obviously are doing other things.
Yep.
On top of this. So
be prepared to a lot of complaining when that new thing is not Jack and Daxter 4.
And they need to get over that. They need to get over that. Jack and Daxter 4, as much as I like that series, that's never happening. So
anyway. This needs to be the last of them.
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
They need to stay on the PS2, and that's where they will stay. So let's move on. So let's move on to a real topic.
Real topic. Real men.
Damn. Just dismissing Naughty Dog. Jesus Christ.
And let's talk about the PlayStation Portal, baby.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm about to
Let's
say.
talk about
Crickets.
the Game Awards nominees.
I'm about to say.
Crickets.
Let's do this. This is our big topic of the show.
All right.
Macho, if you can
I
get
got
up the nominees
Yeah, I
on
got you.
screen.
Whoa!
So what you want to
yes.
tackle first?
Well, let me tee it up. You know.
Alright.
So on Monday, Jeff and the Video Game Awards announced the nominees for the show. I am doing this based off of memory. Nintendo leads the way with 15 nominations. They in terms of all the publishers, they are they have the most nominations, which incredible for them. They've had a really great year. Between Zelda, Mario Wonder, Pikmin 4, Walt, am I missing any other big ones?
Big ones. For Nintendo exclusive.
You obviously we can't say Mario RPG because that came out after the cutoff date. So, but I think
Yeah.
those are the big ones.
Those are the heavy hitters for Nintendo this year. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then PlayStation came in second with 13 nominations. And this one was funny to me because it's like on the list they have Xbox slash Bethesda slash Blizzard. So it's like it's not even one they are just like one giant like entity now, you know. But they came
so
yeah,
I
what's
got a
up?
few more. Well, maybe one more. Did you mention the Metroid Prime Remastered? Does that count?
Yeah, but I don't think that got any nominations. But regardless,
Okay.
like yeah, that's still a big game for them.
Fire Emblem Engage,
Yeah, that did get in the best strategy.
Pikmin 4.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay, and Sonic Superstars. Did that come out?
I don't think that got nominated for anything. But
Uh,
also
uh,
that's Sega. So
okay.
but yeah, so that's how the big three stacked up. And yeah, obviously Epic and CD Projekt Red are in there. Capcom I think had like 4 nominations, I want to say. Square Enix, I forget how much they had, but yeah, so that's basically how like the big three um stacked up. But yeah, let's get into these nominations, man.
Get in, baby.
We can skip the esports stuff, or just all that, and like
All
content
of it.
creator.
Basically all the
Skip that
stuff
one.
here. Content creator of the
Um,
year.
but let's start at the bottom. What do we?
Most anticipated game.
Okay, this is a bad list. Let me just say that.
You're a fucking capper, dog. You're a
Obviously
capper.
Rebirth is gonna win, but like, tell me those other titles. Like, are like, come on, man, come on.
What? A Hades 2? Are you That's how I know you don't play games, dog.
My point is that this if these are the most hype games for 2024, Macho, we're in trouble. We are in trouble for
What?
2024.
Dog, you are bugging.
How?
5v7 Rebirth for
Yes,
one.
fantastic.
Hades 2.
Okay, yes.
A sequel to one of the greatest games in the past generation. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Another sequel to an amazing JRPG that came out last gen. Star Wars Outlaws is the one I give you. But Tekken 8, literally,
I'm
mad fucking hype for this game.
I will say that these are each of these has a insanely passionate fan base, except for Star Wars Outlaws.
They have a what?
They have an insanely passionate fan base. So like these are like the most anticipated games for their genre / franchise.
You know what this what vibe this gives me?
No.
This gives me the vibe of like a bunch of publishers who have not announced their heavy hitters for 2024, so we've had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find games
That's wild.
that are actually announced for 2024.
That is
That's
wild to say.
that's
That is
that's the
fucking
vibe.
wild to say.
It
That's the
doesn't
vibe.
say. It doesn't say the nominees are not for the most anticipated game that we don't know about, but we know about. It's for the
Exactly.
games. It's for the upcoming games, and these are upcoming games.
No. It's specifically for games that have a 2024 release date.
Right. But
Exactly.
that's the thing. No, but that's the thing. Like these also, I mean, I think most of these, I don't know about like Jesus. I know that they even have like a date, like a
Well,
date.
exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying is that's why Death Stranding 2 isn't in here because we don't have a release
Right.
date. That's why Wolverine is not in here because it doesn't have a
Right.
release date. That's why well actually I think Hellblade 2 did have a release date, so that's funny they didn't put that in here. But
I
but I
don't. Come on,
but
Hellblade 2.
fair. But like I'm trying to think of like other big what's that game that people won't shut up about? Hollow Knight, right? Silk Song, right?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
well, yeah, I'll give you that one.
right? So like I'm just saying that like if these other big games did have a 2024, this list just feels primarily like what are big games that actually have a 2024 release date on them? Yakuza, okay. Star Wars, okay, like
But I
that's
just don't
what it
think that
feels.
you're. But I think that you're not particularly excited about any of these, though.
Which is fair. And I'm not saying that these games are like bad games or anything like that. I'm just saying that like I'm trying to find what
This
was
is
the
what
list.
happens when you get 1 year you get Elden Ring and 1 year you get Tears of the Kingdom. This is what happens. You get a list that is slightly underwhelming compared to those other years. Like you're not gonna have there was a Metroid Prime 4, it'd be like, wait, it's coming 2024, but we don't know when that's coming out. Who knows? Maybe Silksong comes out during the Game Awards and they're like, oh, it's dropping today. And that's why it's not there. I don't know. Maybe
Um,
Wolverine gets pushed to 2025.
so for 2023 for comparison, 2023's or sorry, last year's most anticipated games for 2023 was Starfield, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild,
You mean
Resident
Tears of
Evil
the Kingdom?
4.
Tears of the
Oh
Kingdom.
yeah. Well, this article had Breath of the Wild, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom,
Okay.
Resident Evil 4, Hogwarts Legacy, and Final Fantasy 16. Um, so that's that one. But obviously, like all those games are like gigantic, like heavy hitters, right?
Right.
I'm curious what the year before that was. Oh, that was like the award that or that category, most anticipated games that Zelda was in it for like 3 straight years. You guys remember that?
Yeah. With Elden Ring.
I mean, that's why I think like this vote actually does weigh pretty heavy because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth again a sequel. This is the sequel for Final Fantasy VII trilogy remake trilogy that people have been waiting for. Like Seven Remake was the one where see if they can actually do it, but Rebirth is the one that say, oh, can they actually really freaking do it now? Because this is the part where you actually get to the open world and has a whole bunch of story elements. Hades 2, one of the most awarded indie games out there, one of the most applauded indie games out there. Now it's getting a sequel. That one,
Yeah.
and
Like a Dragon being a combination of two worlds of fan bases.
Like a Dragon hitting mainstream for everybody and becoming a breakout success there. Star Wars Outlaws is Star Wars. How much did a Jedi Survivor sell? A lot.
I don't know, but
It's sort of freaking lot. Yeah, and then Tekken 8 again, the anticipated sequel to Tekken 7, which has been around since like I think early PS4 days.
I feel like that's up there just because Maximilian exists.
No, but Tekken is actually one of the most like besides Street Fighter is one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? It basically has the stream with the most viewers on it because it's
Right.
so much fun to watch. Yeah. So
for comparison, really quickly, the 2021 Game Awards nominees for most anticipated game for 2022 was Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Tears of the Kingdom, and Starfield again.
okay.
So I'm just saying is that like I feel like with the last 2 years you can see the difference between those last 2 years and what's coming in 2024. I don't know if this is like a barometer of like what we can expect in 2024. Is 2024 just going to be a down year? And this is kind of like the best that we're gonna get in a down year.
That is
you know?
so cap, dog. That's so
I think
fucking
I think the only reason why that's a thing is because 2023 has been insane.
yeah.
But by no means is this a bad list. I think that if we're gonna compare it to previous lists, which by the way, we're not gonna do this with every category because if not, we're gonna be here until midnight.
Right.
But this one specifically because it's games. Yeah, I mean potentially there's games that the developers are like, no, we don't know, we don't have a date for it.
Right.
And then slot one in. But I mean, who's to say? Maybe this is good. Maybe this just means, oh, maybe we're gonna get surprises in 2024. Don't hope for it.
No,
The expectations, you know what
I mean, for me, like I'm excited for everything on this list besides Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, because we don't know shit about that.
Yeah.
We don't know much about it. Like as much as we do about the others, at least.
The last thing that I'll say, and then we can all kind of give our vote on this category, is that I just think it's telling that there's no major Nintendo exclusive here. There's no like first party. There's no major PlayStation first party game here. There's no major Xbox first party game here. You know, those are usually like the biggest games that we all get excited for. So like, I don't know. It's crazy not seeing one of those.
These are all multi-plat.
Yeah.
Which is
Final Fantasy,
Well, Final Fantasy Remake eventually came out on PC, no?
Yeah, but Rebirth is PS5 exclusive for the time being. I think for 3 months. I think for 3 months actually.
Yeah, I don't count that. I count like fucking gatekeeping. Okay, when they're like, no, it's not going anywhere. That's an exclusive.
But yeah, putting a pin on this one. My vote is Rebirth. Obviously, it's gonna take it.
Yep.
I mean, it's gonna win. I was gonna say that if I had not known about Infinite Wealth, then it was gonna be Rebirth because that's just like me, what I gear towards. But yeah, Rebirth. Give it to Rebirth.
All right.
Okay.
That's Rebirth. All right.
And then we should also like for the next categories going forward, what we think is going to win and our personal pick.
Okay.
I do think Final Fantasy is gonna win for sure.
Yeah. All right. So best adaptation.
What's the nominees for that?
Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us HBO, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal.
Last of Us.
I saw some heavy captor like Super Mario Bros. Gonna sweep. That's an easy pick. I'm like, are you serious, bro?
That is a decision backed up by financials, but that's not what we're voting based on. Because I know the Super Mario movie made $1 billion, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But what's the best adaptation and the one that people talked about the most? Because Mario came and went. It's Last of Us. It's Last of Us. It's gonna win, and that's the one I'm voting for.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I would. I don't even want to say what I would do if Mario won, but that is a timeline I do not want to live.
I will say, if somehow Gran Turismo wins, I won't be mad.
Definitely won't. But Super Mario Bros. Movie was good, but the way people hyped it up, or like, oh, it's definitely better than Last of Us. Like, you gotta be, all right, no,
let's relax.
No. Yeah, relax on that one. I'll say if any of these weren't on the list, right? Castlevania Nocturne wasn't on here. Last of Us wasn't on here. Even some Mario Bros. I would say Twisted Metal for sure. That was a pretty good time. That was a pretty good time. It was a bit slow in the beginning, but like it really ramped up at the end. It had had a really good resolution. It was good.
So Twisted Metal is your Destruction All Stars. Okay.
No, it's actually better than that. It was way more enjoyable. I actually finished
it. There's no finishing Destruction All Stars.
You can't finish Destruction All Stars.
Yeah, you can. You could just uninstall it. All right.
Oh man.
He passed.
So the next one, best multiplayer.
Can you name the nominees?
I got you. Can you just look at the screen?
No, it's for our listeners, the people that are not watching.
Our listeners, we're not even on the other podcast channel than fucking YouTube.
YouTube has premium where you can just listen to it.
Oh god. All right. So Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. My vote is Street Fighter 6, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win.
for best multiplayer, I don't
Mhm.
think Baldur's Gate should win.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I will
multiplayer
say
is really solid. I will say I did that with a couple
it's
of friends, and it
solid.
was really good. Yeah.
It might be solid, but that ain't enough. Because look at Street Fighter, look at Wonder. It has a whole little like overview map where you can call your friends and then go all around and walk and shit. Like, mind you, the bar is very low with Nintendo and online. Mind you, that's why I'm excited. But I will say for multiplayer, I mean, I'll go bias on it. I'll say Diablo 4. What I think is going to be in a Street Fighter though. That's what I think is going to win.
I'm gonna say I think Mario Wonder is gonna win,
Ooh, interesting.
and I would like for it to win. Yeah,
Oh man, I appreciate that, man.
but even I Diablo 4 is my like dark horse.
Walt's talking like he developed the fucking game or something.
So I'm not Miyamoto.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Do you want to do best sports racing? Do we care about that?
Nah.
Okay. Best sim strategy? Do we care about that?
No.
Nah. Best family
Yeah,
game? Do we
even
care
though,
about that?
For Wall, Fire Emblem is in that one.
Yeah. That's what I voted for
Sure.
too. Toothpaste waifus, right?
Yes, sir.
Colgate. Best family? Do we care about that?
Nah.
Is it Nintendo heavy as well?
I think it is.
Okay.
So it's like, nah. Disney Illusion Island, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, Party Animals, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Those are your nominees.
Okay, best family, honestly, Mario. For best family. If it was best like chill or whatever the fuck, I'd say Disney Dreamlight Valley or whatever.
No, Disney Illusion Island. The fuck are you hearing?
I don't know, man. The folding the laundry has been fucking exhausting.
I don't see why Sonic Superstars is on here. That's gonna like
It's because Knuckles makes you horny. Is that why?
No, it's gonna make a family member pull out a gun, man.
What the fuck? What the hell? Why?
Because the game's bad.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild to say. Okay, so Mario Bros is gonna win, basically.
Okay.
Best fighting game. Actually, it says best fighting. You would say best fighting game, but
Best fighting.
yeah.
Sifu.
Shut the fuck up. I got a rock. Never even heard of this game. Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6.
You know what's crazy?
What's up?
Is that I think Street Fighter is gonna win, but from the way that it's been handled and how high people are, I would vote for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Because it's like they got some good characters in there. It's like doing pretty decently. Like people are like enjoying it. It's gotten good reviews. So like
I also
that'd be
heard
just
that
like a
it's
fun
dead
show.
right now.
Nah, I mean, remember fucking Multiverse?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
That was
same
fun.
thing with Nickelodeon. I just want to give other people a chance because I know Street Fighter's gonna win.
Yeah, it should win. It's honestly the most innovative like mechanics, and not just in like gameplay, but just like the way the game is played, stuff like that. I already talked about Pox before, but yeah, that one if that doesn't win, that'll be a crime against humanity. Honestly. Mortal Kombat 1 should not be winning this.
Damn.
And Soul doesn't care. He doesn't play fighting games, so we
Well,
can continue.
yeah, I don't have a dog in this fight, so yeah.
So
I
has
will-
a
What?
chicken in this fight. What?
Yeah, so
But yeah, I'll defer to you guys. I
Okay.
feel like Street Fighter should win.
Yeah, just vote Street Fighter.
okay. So next is best RPG. Now this is a funny one. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Liza P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Why do you think they put Final Fantasy 16 here?
It's an RPG.
Because some of the outlets have fucking.
It's an RPG.
It's because some of the outlets have fucking default options. That's why. And I don't know. They see that you see that what character has a sword, you can equip a different sword. Oh, it's RPG. I don't know why.
Macho, you can allocate points.
Yeah, you can. No, I'm just busting his balls. It's just I just think that this like something like Octopath Traveler 2 or like a different kind of RPG that's a little more like fuck, man. Even Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line could be in this.
All right, relax.
No, real talk, dog. You can actually get a full party with equipped abilities. You can level them up to like past 100, stuff like that. And you actually have to build a party in Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line to beat certain boss fights and challenges. And you actually have to do RPG shit in that game to get 100%. So
who's playing that game?
everybody, what are you talking about? Just because you're a Neanderthal doesn't know how great games.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But case in point, I just think that there's definitely a couple other games that released this year that are more hardcore RPG than Final Fantasy 16. So
fucking Mario RPG is more hardcore, but it's not in the time slot.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, but whatever you say, man.
It's an RPG.
I just think that Final Fantasy 16 it's just a weird placement for me. Like this should be in like best action game, not really RPG in my opinion.
It's action adventure kind of thing. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like I said, it has RPG elements, but like there are other games that just did it better in my opinion. But
for real. Yeah.
So Baldur's Gate 3, FF16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield are your nominees for this one.
I would vote. Oh my god, I'm blanking right now.
I mean, it's a really hard of a decision.
No. I would vote Baldur's Gate, but I think that if someone else is going to win, it's Sea of Stars. If Baldur's Gate doesn't win, I want Sea of Stars to
win. Okay. So what about you?
Yeah, this is about as easy as you can possibly get. It's Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. For sure.
Which is gonna win. It's like,
and I hate to be that guy, but
it's on to the next topic.
This is the one category that Starfield got nominated for, so I'll just point that out.
For best RPG.
Yeah,
the one and only nomination it got.
Yeah, I know that was.
So I will take that to mean that my opinion about this game was shared amongst the press.
Yeah, they heard you. You probably were the one that gave it a chance, and the outlet they interviewed.
Oh man, they're calling you a hater right now. So they're calling you the conductor of the hate train. Choo choo. Oh, so best action adventure game: Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
This is tough.
It's a stacked one for best action adventure. So just keep in mind of that category.
I'm personally gonna cross off Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I'm taking this very literally. When it's nominees, I take this very literally. Action adventure. The best adventure is offered by Tears of the Kingdom. There's no greater adventure. Period.
So, funny enough, I would actually keep Jedi Survivor on here from what I've played of it, because Star Wars is literally the epitome of adventures. For sure. Of like galactic adventure, stuff like that. And the little time I did play it, they really do kind of nail that feeling of it, which is why I liked Fallen Order so much. And the other is Tears of the Kingdom, though. And that is...
There's just no freedom like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, seriously. So, that's like... You make your own adventure in that game. I think that's more worthwhile than anything else in here. So,
yeah.
My one hang up is I'm between Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man, because in the category it specifically talks about traversal, right? And I feel like Spider-Man, like that's its calling card. Like traversal is like that's the thing that it does like 10 out of 10. Possibly better than these other games, I'd say.
Sure. I mean, traversal is relative, because if we're doing traversal and the flexibility of traversal, Tears of the Kingdom also beats it, because you make a fucking Gundam in it.
Yeah, that's
you can't place that best against Spider-Man.
Bro.
But yeah,
I was gonna say, like, you can swing all you want. Ain't nothing getting through that Gundam.
It's not like your dick wielding Gundam, right?
But here's the second half of the the category that we're not thinking about is the action part, right?
Yeah. The action? Okay.
It is obviously, since I haven't played it, how's the combat in Tears of the Kingdom?
Same as the first one. You have your abilities and you can get as wild as you want with them. And now this time around, they're sages. So now you have a little companion that you can bring into the mix instead of abilities. Now you have like attacks that you can combine and go back and forth with your own abilities. The action, I say it's solid. It's very free flow. It's not as...
It gets pretty hype, I'll say. It gets pretty hype.
It gets hype, and I think that the action depends on where you are vertically. Because whatever layer you are of the world, the action changes drastically on how you approach situations.
Well, did you finish the game yet, Walt, or no?
I'm still doing them shrines. I want to be so OP.
Well, okay, because I can say like on the boss factor, like when I did the Wind Shrine boss, that was probably the most hype the game ever got, and then everything else, it was like, all right, that's fine, but nothing really like peaked past that for me. But I mean, but like other than that, the combat can be fun. It can be dull at times, but I think the boss fights, when it matters, like, man, they hit. It's really good.
I will say that in terms of how of a spectacle, then Spider-Man will take it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think, like, if we're taking both sides of the equation, adventure and action, I think Zelda just covers more ground. But I don't know. If I think Zelda is gonna win, and honestly, I would vote for either that or Spider-Man. I don't know. I'm torn. I am kind of torn with this one because I do enjoy both experiences very much.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Zelda will win. But I would probably vote for Spider-Man.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm the same for me.
Do it.
I think I'm the same for me. I would vote for Spider-Man too, just so I could win something, because probably not gonna win anything.
Oh no, I said what's next.
Oh, what's next?
Oh man,
my bad.
This man was feeling his feelings. He's like, no,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, best action game. So Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. Now, see, so this feels like, oh, there's nothing that released this year. Let's just throw out the obvious ones and a couple other strayaways. Dead Island 2.
Well, yeah, that one for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know about Armored Core 6. I know that's as action as you get, but
no, but that one's winning it. Let's be honest.
What? No, it has to be Hi-Fi Rush. Come on now.
Well, am I telling a lie?
Are you calling me a liar?
Why are you relying on Walt? You didn't even get past like the first 10 minutes of the game.
It is Armored Core 6, no question.
No, it has to be Hi-Fi Rush, dog. It has to be.
Okay, give me a second. Let me look at all of them.
No, let me look at my PSN profile. See how long I played Armored Core 6.
It's best action.
Best action, bro. Oh my god, this is hard. No, because like I feel like I have the same amount of play time in both of them.
Oh, that's hilarious. So 5 minutes.
So shut the fuck up. No, not 5 minutes. Damn, I thought you'd say Ghost Runner, Soul.
Oh man. Yeah, I thought you'd say that too.
Obviously, that would be my pick. But what do I think is going to win? I think without question, it's going to be Armored Core 6.
Well, I think it's gonna win. I think people are gonna come through and not disappoint me. And Hi-Fi Rush is because here's the thing, Armored Core. Well, no, but Armored Core is like a revived classic. Oh my god, this is difficult.
But Hi-Fi Rush is a new IP with a fresh story that knocked it out of the park on the first try from a studio you wouldn't even guess from.
Combat, specifically talking about combat.
It's fucking awesome, man.
I'm gonna be different. Remnant 2 is gonna win because they made it. They made it to where you had to data mine the game to unlock a class. That's hype.
That's nothing to do with the action combat.
It involves more action when you get that class, motherfucker.
I've also heard good things about the action in that game, so I think that's a dark horse pick.
Yeah. So, but I would vote for Hi-Fi.
Yeah, I would too.
I guess I'm the crazy one and picking Armored Core 6.
No, not crazy. I'm a sucker for rhythm games. I like rhythm games, and Hi-Fi Rush is anime as fuck. I was off Edge Runners, and then this comes out now, bro.
Y'all
I was
give
like,
me
oh,
my flowers when it's announced that Armored Core 6 wins.
yeah,
That was
we'll give them to you so we can bury you with them.
yeah.
Hey, goddamn.
I don't know, man. Dude, like Hi-Fi Rush, so its combat's just so sick. It's basically Devil May Cry, but with rhythm infused into it, and it's so flashy fun. Like I get Armored Core 6 is like hardcore, like oh, super adult action game, Max. Oh, but no, Hi-Fi Rush got that style and blend that you're just like, fuck, man, this is cool. This is Saturday morning cartoons awesomeness. Like, yeah, let's bring it
I'd
back.
say they're both ends of the spectrum when it comes to
Yeah.
their presentation.
And
So
since this whole industry loves to fucking self-castrate themselves, probably Armored Core 6 will win. So you're probably right, Soul. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Best VR AR game. Do we care about this one?
I mean, I think that's a Sony category. I think it's gonna come down between Gran Turismo and Call of the Mountain.
Not
I think it's
Humanity.
gonna be Call of the Mountain.
Humanity was
think it's-
cool, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't hear. I heard praise for it, but I didn't hear people go like absolutely crazy for it like they did for Gran Turismo. I feel like.
Okay.
I just think it's Horizon or Resident Evil.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, I think we all simp for Lady D here. So is that our vote?
Hey, yo. Sure, why not?
Okay. I didn't hear anything from Soul. That was weird.
Because he's admiring her grace.
Mhm. Yeah.
Best mobile game. Do you care about that?
Nah.
Wait. Let me see the nominees. Let me see.
You got Final 7 Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil.
Okay, I know who's gonna win. I would vote for Monster Hunter now. No, that's a lie. I would vote for Honkai, and that's what's gonna win. Okay,
Yeah, they'll probably win.
Yeah, I think so too.
for sure.
I'll vote for that too. Actually, no, I'm Final Fantasy Fanatic. Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis is my vote. Best debut indie. Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower. That looks a lot of fun. Venba and Viewfinder.
I don't know about any of these games.
I don't know any of these.
I think
either.
Viewfinder is that game that was probably in the Sony showcase where you took a picture, then you're able to enter into that picture. I think that's what this game is.
I think so too. Yeah, but at the same time, I've heard great things about both Cocoon and Dredge. Those are two games I've been meaning to get to at some point. But yeah, this has been a very bad year for me overall in terms of like playing games. So
Hey, man.
yeah, I haven't played any of these.
I didn't either. Well, did you play anything from here?
I've seen. Here's the thing. I have Dredge on my wish list for Steam. I've seen a good amount of gameplay for that. It looks a lot of fun. What's the viewfinder? Is that the one where you take pictures and then it becomes reality?
You enter into those pictures, yeah. I think so. I think that's
That just
what
sounds
this is.
so. That sounds so unique, and I've seen a lot of videos of that, and people going like, "Oh wow, like, creative ways to navigate." So, just from knowledge, I would go with that one.
Okay.
I don't know which one's gonna win though.
Well, I'm gonna say Cocoon.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, next one. Best independent game. So, Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. So do you know the story behind Dave the Diver and why this is a little controversial?
Yeah. So Dave the Diver, what is it exactly? The publish or the studio is like funded by Nexon, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, basically like a
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Right. So the word indie is kind of like used in quotations for them. A lot of people feel like that doesn't make them indie, so they should be disqualified from this category. And that, well, technically isn't Larian independent because they're not with a publisher. A big publisher isn't publishing their game. It's all them. They're self-publishing their own game, right? So doesn't that technically make them I mean, they are an independent game studio. So Baldur's Gate 3 technically should be in the independent category. So there's that too. Regardless, I think Cocoon is still gonna win this category.
I think Sea of Stars is gonna win this one.
Yeah, I think that one's gonna win as well. That one
And
has a lot of
I
love
would-
behind it.
and I would vote Sea of Stars. They got the fucking composer from Chrono Trigger. Like that's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, this is actually the classic JRPG that people finished this year, unlike Octopath Traveler 2, which is why you don't see it at all in these nominations.
Yep. And you know what's wild? Now that you mentioned that about Dave Diver, which I didn't know, it's it's interesting now considering that has an overwhelmingly positive review uh situation.
It looks
Um,
fun. Looks like it's a lot of fun.
it looks fun. I think like you're a diver, right? You hunt for fish and then like you have like a sushi bar or something.
Yeah, so the idea is that you're Dave the Diver during the day, right? Like that's his day job. He goes and searches all these fishes, and that's where you come across the adventures of the sea. And then at night you basically open up a sushi bar. So you basically serve all the stuff that you caught during the day. So it's like this it's like this mixing of is it roguelike? I'm not sure it's procedure generated levels,
I
but
don't know.
basically it's just this idea of mixing different kind of gameplays where you're hunting and you know hunting and getting all the fish and stuff like that, and then you have this restaurant manager sim right next to it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Um,
Really nice art style. So, all right, so that's that. Best community support. Oh, this one's spicy too, fellas. Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky for best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive social media activity, and game updates / patches.
I feel like they're gonna give it to Cyberpunk. I personally wouldn't. Because we're talking about what did it say? Best like responsiveness to the community, right? And it's
Transparency and
like,
responsiveness. Yep.
and like, let's be honest, it took them a year to respond with a version of Cyberpunk that worked. You know, so
Yeah.
um, so I don't know. I wouldn't give it to them, but I feel like they are going to give. It feels like with the amount like this game got or this expansion got 4 nominations. I feel like it's gonna get love somewhere in one of these categories, and I feel like this is probably the most likely.
Walt, what do you think, man?
I mean, I'll be honest. I I have a gut choice every year, and I'm gonna continue it. No Man's Sky for both. I think Cyberpunk might win, but I'm voting for No Man's Sky. It's just that they do not stop pumping out the fucking content, and the way that people just continue to engage. You can be different races, like, bro. They just keep bringing more stuff and more and more. So that's my vote.
Okay. Well, you guys already know my vote. The Final Fantasy fanatic, man, of course.
Yes, sir.
And especially with that, which I actually streamed, by the way, was the Fall Guys collaboration. Yeah, that was super hype and just a lot of finding some great moments from there. Shut up, Flame in the chat. I see you, man, putting the horse symbols on there. Shut the fuck up, dog. He has a good point though. He's saying Warframe was robbed. So, and I hear a lot about that game and how well they're doing the community. So yeah, it feels like that definitely got glossed over for something like Destiny 2, which is such a weird input in this nomination, dog.
Yeah.
That is sweet, especially Cyberpunk. And I agree with you, so.
And I feel like I'm not gonna blame the committee for this because this just feels like one of those things where it's just unfortunate timing. You have to imagine that everyone had their votes in weeks in advance, right? Like these things take a lot of time to gather up and do. So like yeah, you'd imagine that they had this thing well in advance, and then the Bungie stuff happens, and then all those people who voted Destiny 2 for best community support are probably thinking, god damn it. You know? So yeah, it's just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I mean, I think we all can agree that Baldur's Gate 3 is probably gonna take this one though.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I would think so. The
Mm,
amount of like updates they did and just responding to the community and
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Because I was, for whatever reason, my mind was going to like it being like an early access game and them just spending like years and years and years like responding to feedback and then just, implementing those changes based off of feedback into the game. I don't know if they would take any of that into account, but yeah, I was kind of thinking about that aspect.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, and I think at this point, Baldur's Gate has become the sweetheart of the year, rightfully so. I just think that longevity matters in this case because you're going to put a freshly baked game compared to like a game that came out as a failure and became one of the biggest comebacks of like the decade. So like
Hmm.
for me, it's like I'm gonna keep going with the one that I've been voting for this whole time because it hasn't stopped. Apex was in this category at one point. It's not there anymore. Fortnite has been in this category. It's not there anymore. Who's remained? No Man's Sky, boy. That shit has not been out of that category for the last like 5 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
We'll see.
Are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Best ongoing. Again, another weird one. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact for best ongoing.
I think
My least
that
favorite category.
that the winner.
At the wiener.
And we're gonna see in the not so distant future, we're gonna see Concord in here, Fair Game dollar signs in here. We're gonna
Oh
see
man.
Reactions 2 in here. We're gonna see
We're
Twisted
gonna
Are
we're,
Metal
you
in
gonna start? Are
here.
you
gonna see
saying that
Mag.
the best ongoing category is gonna be the PlayStation category, like how Nintendo has the best family category?
Oh man.
You know what else is gonna be there, Soul? Mag.
Yes, sir. We're gonna see Destruction All Stars 2 in there too.
It's
Yes,
done.
sir.
I'm done.
Um, I which one? Oh, ongoing, right?
Yeah, best ongoing.
Yeah.
So
I
best, I think the like the actual description was evolves the player experience over time. So
correct me if I'm wrong. Is Honkai Star Rail like its own separate thing, or is that a thing that you can access within Genshin Impact?
It's its own game. It's
Okay,
Star Rail is actually a turn-based sci-fi like adventure game. Genshin continues to pump up its own content.
okay.
And then they
I
have
don't know.
another game on the way.
I don't know what wins this because like I feel like I haven't really heard anything Apex wise in like a
This is
year. Like too much
yeah,
excitement. Um, I'm sure obviously
ever been.
FF14 is doing its thing. Fortnite, I mean the biggest thing that they did was going back to original Fortnite.
Yes,
Uh
sir. It's gonna be gone
Genshin
soon.
Genshin obviously is doing its thing. So like I mean we'll talk about the Cyberpunk thing. But yeah, I feel like it's between 14 and Genshin more than likely. And like
I
they
was,
do every year, they'll give it to 14.
I was gonna say it was between 14 and Fortnite because of the OG factor. Because a lot of people jumped back in because of the
Well,
OG
well, here's the thing. Do
OG
you
mode.
think people, the press, they got their votes in before they went back to OG?
Thing is that I don't know if
ooh, I don't know. That's a good
they
question, actually.
because they've been highlighting the OG before, like for before obviously before it came out, it was being advertised. I wonder if the press was like, "Oh wow, that's a big move. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for this one because that's like a big move," or they waited until they played. I don't know. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be mad if Final Fantasy wins. I just would vote for Fortnite because it's been so long since they've done something this big.
Mm,
So
yeah.
Cool.
Final Fantasy might win because Final Fantasy 14 is like fucking
It
like
always
you
was.
can't do anything. You can't do anything against it. You can
Yeah, that's true. So on to the next
okay.
one.
Break that mug. I'm gonna break that mug.
Do we all agree Cyberpunk shouldn't be in this one? Or at least that is a little weird that it's in this one?
Yeah,
Why is it weird?
because if it's not, because I'll tell you right now, if we're at the Game Awards next year, right, and Baldur's Gate 3 is not in this nomination, and not in that nomination rather, then we can call Cyberpunk 2077 nomination here kind of like a really weird fix.
Here's an even like easier argument to this.
Okay.
Does should Horizon Forbidden West be considered an ongoing game because it released Burning Shores this year? Should Bloodborne be considered an ongoing game in 2016 because or whenever the Old Hunters DLC came out? Should
or
The Witcher
God of War
3
Ragnarok?
Yeah, or what's his name? The Witcher 3 when it released Blood and Wine in 2016, should that have been considered an ongoing game in the Game Awards 2016, right? So it's like it's a very slippery slope of calling Cyberpunk 2077 a ongoing game because they released an expansion and because they fixed the game, you know?
But isn't that what happened with Final Fantasy 14 though?
No, because they rebooted what it was, and then they continued onwards with expansions.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm not comparing that to this, but like the previous category where they had No Man's Sky competing against Baldur's Gate, I was like, damn, that's insane. Baldur's Gate just came out. How is it like best like community support when like this game has had fucking community support for so many years? But I'm not like debating it. I think that in common, all these games that we're seeing right now, like they've had improvement as it's been ongoing. Like it's only gotten better. I will say this is a slippery slope, just like the Sifu thing. And I can't really say that if next year if Baldur's Gate is not there, because we don't know if the press changes, if people change, and some people get laid off, and then you have new voters. Like I can't really make a call based on like eye for an eye. I will say it's a weird position for it to be in. I don't know what the description is. There a description, Macho, that you can see?
Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
That's what Phantom Liberty did. It fully overhauled Cyberpunk. It made it basically a different game in terms of like how you approach even combat. So like if we're going based on the description of the category, it technically fits. Technically fits.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But if Baldur's Gate changes, it does. That's the thing. It doesn't need change. I wouldn't want Baldur's Gate to be here because then you're implying that it was broken at some point.
I just think that like this category and maybe this is their fault. This category has always been like the live service category, right?
Right.
So like you now all of a sudden putting in single player RPG into this category, it makes it murkies the water a bit. Now it's like, okay, so now multiple things are eligible for this category, right? So like I think about like Hitman, you know, Hitman is constantly coming out with updates and new modes and new maps and things like that. So like is that now I guess by this definition it is considered an ongoing game, right? So like I don't know. I feel like it murkies the water just a bit.
But I do think that we're debating social perception versus technical description. Because social perception is it's like the family one. Like what if one year there's no Nintendo one? It's like, oh, it was the Nintendo category. Why is there no Nintendo games? It's like, well, it was never the Nintendo category. It's just that Nintendo makes really great family games. And I think basically here, like I cannot think of a single player game this year that can rival the comeback in the last 2 years that Cyberpunk had. Ongoing game. This is the only time that Cyberpunk would qualify for it, unless they somehow just make like a Cyberpunk 2 and it's like it carries over whatever the fuck, like Cyberpunk Online, whatever the fuck.
It just feels like sorry to interrupt. It just feels like the outlets want to give Cyberpunk its flowers.
Sure.
When in the year they could not do that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it didn't deserve it last year,
right?
Because they kept saying, "Oh, yeah, the next gen, we're working on it." Yeah, the DLC, and then the DLC came out, and that fucking got raving reviews. and it was like, oh shit, this game kept on going. It did not die.
Yeah.
Like it did not. I got resuscitated. It wasn't even dead yet. That shit was fucking crawling. That shit
Yeah.
went diddy diddy in fucking Fortnite. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess 14.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Hell
For
yeah.
fucking sure.
Hell yeah, man. That's right. Games for Impact. A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sonar, Goodbye Volcano High, Tachia, Terra Nil, and Venba. You only played one game on this list, actually, so I think you're the only one to actually play something on this list.
Yeah, I played and finished Chia. Really liked it. I hear good things about Venba. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know about the other ones too much. So obviously, I mean, since I only played Chia, I would go for that one.
Okay. I'll go for Space for the
Well,
Unbound because this one I actually did play through but didn't finish. But it was a nice break from like the rest of the stuff I was playing. So
What I can say about these is I know that Goodbye Volcano High is like there's an apocalypse or like there's an extension thing happening. It's like a drama. It's like a light novel kind of thing. And it's like really it's like has like a pretty solid story. Tachia, I remember from oh my God, it was like a video about like the coziest games or whatever. Um, it seemed like to be like a good contender for that. I have no idea what these other games are. I don't know what the fuck Chance of Sonar is. I have no Venba. I've seen that uh image, that drawing a bunch of times, but I don't know. I don't know any of these, man. Props for any of them because games for impact. This is just a very feel good category.
yeah, let me actually give Chia a little more respect in the sense of that, like, how cool it was to like learn about a place I've never heard about before.
Hmm.
And that like the developers like passion in being able to make a game about like their little island. Like you can really feel how proud they are to be from that island. And I talked about this when I was playing the game at the time, or just like how much it felt like how like we all feel about PR, right? And how proud we are and how much we talk about that place and coming from there. Um, and I really felt weirdly nostalgic for an island that I haven't been to in more than 10 years. Um, Playing that game and hearing the developers like their little dev diaries of them at that island and just talking about it and things like that. So like, yeah, I think that game definitely it's great. It's in this category because yeah, I think it really deserves it to be recognized for just like shining a light on a place that I don't think many people really know about. So yeah, I think Chia is a really cool game for that.
You just sold this game to me. Like I know what I'm downloading on my Steam Deck when I get the chance.
Nice.
yeah. And
Damn.
just a quick context. I didn't get time to look up Chance of Sonar, but Venba is basically like a South Indian cooking family game. So it's more like really cozy. I get more representation and video games kind of vibes, which is really nice. And then Terra Nil, which is actually I remember this now. It's so you know how you have like city skylines and like Jurassic World Park where like you're basically like building like a park or a theme or something like that.
Yeah.
This essentially is the opposite, where you're actually it's an environmental strategy game. So instead of like putting in buildings or anything like that, you're actually bringing life, quote unquote, back to the world by purifying the soil and cleaning the oceans, planting trees, and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, like you're building like a full-on environmental ecosystem rather than just like planning buildings or stuff like that, or managing, societies or anything like that. So it's
Damn.
so that's actually a pretty cool like different spin. It's like the reverse of what like strategy world building games usually do, which is pretty cool.
Damn, I want more of this. Fuck all that AAA shit.
Hey man, it's all there. All right, so innovation and accessibility. This is actually a pretty good list too, actually. So we have Diablo 4, Motorsport, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6.
I think this is the one category Spider-Man 2 wins.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sure. I mean, I don't know much about the options on all of them, but uh, just skimmed through the options on Spider-Man, and it's rigorous.
Yeah, it does. Well, Spider-Man 2 does some really damn cool things in that game, which I won't spoil.
Mm.
It's really nice surprises. With Street Fighter 6, though, that is just, again, opening up the gambit to people that don't usually play fighting games and able to jump into it no problem and learn how to play, especially with the modern modes, all that stuff. So they did a really good job with bringing in new people to play. So
I think that when you have games like Spider-Man that nail the color switching and you being able to color like Last of Us did,
oh
where
yeah,
like for colorblind people, like it was very, very, or I think Ratchet and Clank did it, Rift Apart. It was like very, very nicely put. Um, yeah, man. Spider-Man, go Spider-Man.
yeah.
Or
You got it farther in that game. Did you beat it, Walt, or no?
for Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple of parts in there that are really damn cool that I think that you will really appreciate. So
Already there's cool shit happening, but I don't know which ones you're talking about.
yeah, you'll see. You know when you see it. And same thing for you, so like once you get into it, you'll be like, oh wow, that's what. All right.
When Miles and Peter kiss.
Yes.
Damn. Well, I guess I'm not playing it now.
This game's too. That game's too woke. All right, so best performance: Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba from Cyberpunk, Melanie Liburd. Is that how you say her last name?
I have no idea.
All right,
I don't know.
Melanie Liburd from Alan Wake 2. Wow, she looks just like her character model.
Right.
That's crazy. Relax,
okay.
Bro. Relax. They just did a really good job on the graphics.
We're working.
Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate 3, who plays Asterion, and then Yuri Lowenthal from Spider-Man 2, obviously Peter Parker.
This makes me sad because I think Ben Starr is going to win, but I really want Yuri to win.
That's my vote, Yuri.
Really?
I'm not sad if Ben. I'm not sad if Ben wins. And mind you, Clive does go through a fucking entendre of emotions.
Yep.
But, bro, Yuri, knowing Peter from Spider-1, to seeing how he just fluctuates so well between dark Spidey and normal Spidey, oh man, it's like a completely different character.
So I totally get where you guys are coming from on that. 100%, because I played through the entire game, and it's like, yeah, like the inflection that he does and just what he brings to every scene is just so memorable and lovable and heartbreaking. Like Yuri did an amazing job, 100%. But what Ben Starr does with Clive, he carries that game on his back.
When you need to press L3 and R3 and accept the truth.
Exactly. Yeah, it's to me, it's like a no-brainer. Like, I said this to you before, so when we're talking about Final Fantasy 16, after I finished it, where Clive is, if not one of, what was it? What did I say? Clive is one of, if not the best Final Fantasy protagonist in the series because of his performance and what he does with it. It's, to me, it's absolutely award winning, which he already won an award for, but I feel like, yeah, let him take this one too, because it's just so
I will say
great.
That a reason why also Yuri stands out so much is that I think Yuri has become what Kevin Conroy was for Batman.
Ooh.
And it's that he became Spider-Man. Like, that is the voice of Spider-Man when I think of Spider-Man now. I'm not thinking Tom. I'm not thinking Toby. I'm not thinking. Those are great live action Spider-Man. When I think live action Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield comes to mind. That's my live action Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Soul just rolled his fucking eyes right now.
No, I know. Yeah, but we know Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 3.
That's true.
But when it comes to Spider-Man, like Yuri just became like he is the voice, just like Mark Hamill's the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, this is Spider-Man. And that is so, you don't see that a lot with actors where they like, oh no, this is like Chris Evans, that is Captain America. You know, if Yuri wasn't here, 100% Ben Starr.
Interesting. Okay.
But the thing is that I'm not too sure that he's gonna like. I'm not 100% like, yeah, he's gonna win.
For
Like,
Ben Starr?
I feel like it's Ben or like Yuri is just so like I see the same buzz with both of them.
Well, that's why I'll say I mean, obviously you play the games, but again, what Ben does with Clive is it's to me it's like one of the best things I've experienced in video games in a while. So
yeah,
he just
Idris Elba, though.
even like even like some of the cheesy lines from Final Fantasy 16 that like on paper sound cheesy, he delivers that shit with an epic thrust. It's so damn good. Just like I just replayed Final Fantasy 16, like there's some lines in there I'm just like, damn, y'all, like he just absolutely crushed it. And it's so satisfying. So
I'm disappointed that Mario isn't here, with the new voice actor.
Yeah.
The Wahoos and the are great. And let's not. Okay, I'm gonna be honest on the people I don't know. I don't know about Idris Elba. I haven't seen his performance. Sorry if I haven't seen Melody Delivered, and I haven't seen Cameron. I mean, I know Cameron from the first Jedi, but I haven't seen him in Survivor. I assume he's just as good. I'd say like as a close third or like a third. I'd say Neil Newborn, or Cinnabon, fucking Neil Cinnabon. Bro, Asterion is he makes you think. He makes you think like, do I like this guy?
He's gonna say, do I want to sleep with him? That's what you're gonna say.
I don't know where your head's at. Inside of him. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
But,
whoa.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ.
My vote is Yuri.
All right.
I will say that if not next year, in the near future, they should really look to expand this category to best performance and then another category to best supporting performance, because I feel like there's tons of great work that's just not being recognized in voice acting.
Yeah.
We should do spots. They should just do like best number 1, 2, and 3. Best the first performance, second performance, the third performance.
Well, what
There's
they should
so many.
Go ahead.
What? No, go ahead.
Well, what they should do is they should get rid of like
the esports.
Three of the 20 esports categories that they have and make room for this. Yeah.
Oh, that's how they got their funding.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They get their funding from Chipotle.
Oh my god.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I had Chipotle today.
Yeah, it was.
So did I pay for the Game Awards?
I had it yesterday. It was great. Yeah, technically. You can also get a Street Fighter 6 stuff. Never mind. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Alan Wake 2.
This is kind of unfair.
Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. It has to be Hi-Fi Rush.
Why is a game that is dependent on the fucking audio in here?
It has
like you can't do that against all these people.
It has to be Hi-Fi Rush, yeah. It has to be.
But we're talking about 3 horror games. Like, this is literally what horror games do.
I was gonna say Dead Space has this in the bag if Hi-Fi doesn't win. Like Dead Space, bro.
See, I would agree with you guys, but guess what? Hi-Fi Rush is literally fucking an audio-based game. It's music.
But I feel like that's not fair.
That's literally like making Ben Need and bringing it to your family's home, right? Or your family dinner. And then all of a sudden, Peruvian brings Ben Need, and then that one is better than yours. Like, come on.
It's like, bro, you can play any of these games without paying attention to the audio, but guess what? Same outcome. You won't have a good time, because if you don't listen to the fucking vents in Dead Space, you're dead. If you don't do the beats right in Hi-Fi Rush, you can still beat the enemy. You just won't get the same outcome. It'll be not synchronized.
I don't know about that one, but
you know that one? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think Hi-Fi, like, if we're talking objectively, we're talking like, like the spirit of the category, Hi-Fi should win, right? My vote is Dead Space. There's no way. Like, bro, that game makes you think you have schizophrenia. It's crazy. You're like, why am I listening to whispers in the dark? There's no enemies here. Is that my dead wife?
I mean, I could say the same thing for Alan Wake too, you know, because
Yeah,
that
there's
what it does
fucking
with that
like, jump
audio is
scares and
insane.
shit. Like, that's the thing, man. Whoever wins, I don't know why Spider-Man's here. Whoever wins, just not Spider-Man. Just not Spider-Man. I don't know what that's doing there.
And for me, it has to be Hi-Fi Rush, man. It's literally a rhythm-based action game. Like literally, the entire game's core fundamental aspect of it is music and audio. Like that's
so
like as soon as you start that game, you immediately get the boom, boom, and then everything just funnels into it as you keep playing, and it's so damn good, and it continues throughout the entire 12 to 15 hours. Like that is just masterful stuff, man.
Yeah, no, you are correct. So will you vote for Dead Space with me?
I
You played Alan Wake too, so what's up?
And Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I think Hi-Fi will probably win. I'm just saying I really think Dead Space. It's tough because Resident Evil 4 and Alan Wake was really good. I just feel like the three horror games, like I would not be shocked if any of one of those take it. You know,
Yeah,
just vote for Hi-Fi Rush
for sure. No, man. I mean, I gotta say, like, if there's any other year where Hi-Fi Rush wasn't in here, then yeah, absolutely. Like,
it's just 100%. That's crazy that they're like, you know, let's just put the game dependent on it in here.
Yeah, like if audio wasn't a factor in any of these games, there would be lesser games. You know, I don't know. Spider-Man, but yeah, I don't know if we could say the same for Spider-Man, Resident Evil 4 though. Like, I feel like if you take out audio from those games, they will still be amazing games.
Bro, you can turn off the TV. I can still swing with the DualSense.
I understand that, but okay. Let's move on to the next one. Best score in music: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, FF16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This is a crazy list, actually.
Bro, this is that meme of the piano on fire. Like, there's no.
They're all the same thing.
Everyone cooked so hard here.
I think there's a clear cut. This is easy.
No, it's not.
It's FF16.
It is absolutely not. It is absolutely not that easy.
It is easy. It's FF16. What are you talking about?
The man who was tooth and nail with Hi-Fi Rush, the fucking game that has an original ass fucking soundtrack like no other game. It's like a mixture of genres. Let's go with the fucking medieval one. Okay. I will say
what
Final Fantasy 16 takes it because there's nothing like fighting what is it, Garuda? Oh my god. The fucking it's orgasm.
Just like when you hear that yeah. So it's Macho is
trailer.
Best, man.
Just the trailer. Bahamut.
Yeah.
Shiva.
Yeah.
God, hold on. Fucking fucking put it in yeah.
Which I think this is probably the only award Final Fantasy 16 is gonna win, but so let it be. Yeah, let it be this one. Let it be this.
Watch Zelda win for its strings every now and then.
It did have like the Ghost of Tsushima music performance and bring out the flute. All right, best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. My vote's on Liza P.
Read the description for outstanding creative
technical
achievement, artistic design, and animation.
Yep. So creative or technical achievement. So keeping in mind.
I'm gonna say Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Mario too.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Like what what I mentioned, Macho. I haven't mentioned in the podcast. The way that game will change the entirety of a stage with the Wonder Flower, bro. The Wonder Seed, the seed inside, like, bro. You take that seed. Thing just gets crazy. It's so cool.
Are those seeds fighting for something?
Bro, no, there's one where the piranha starts singing.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's funny. I will say, if Hi-Fi Rush wins, I don't mind because the art direction in that game is phenomenal. It's an anime. It's an anime.
Yeah. I mean, my vote would be Liza P, but I think Alan Wake 2 would take this one. Honestly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see Zelda taking this one, but honestly, I think a lot of people are very taken, like they were surprised by how beautiful Lies of P turned out to be, and how it gradually went from automatons to are these deities? So it's like, oh, am I fighting a god? So I like the art direction, because I was direction, not art design, direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's incredible, honestly, what they did with that game.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too. All right, so previous best narrative. Another one was Cyberpunk in it. Wow, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, well, Phantom Liberty, they actually label it here, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Personally, I think I haven't finished Alan Wake 2 yet, but it's pretty strong for what it's doing right now. So my vote will probably be up there with Baldur's Gate 3 and Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think Baldur's Gate 3 will win.
Absolutely, it's D&D in a game. It's like the ultimate storytelling game.
Any objections, Soul?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I like Cyberpunk.
Well, I mean, I hear Phantom Liberty's story is really, really good.
I hear that too.
I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Wake 2 wins this. I think the dark horse is FF16. But I think it comes down between Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3, and I think Alan Wake takes it.
Yeah. I would be good with.
Okay.
Yeah,
honestly,
go ahead.
Honestly, you said dark horse being Final Fantasy 16. I see the dark horse being Alan Wake,
Okay.
because he's dark. No, I don't know. Like, it's just like, it feels like Final Fantasy 16 is pretty clear cut, like not held. I think when people talk about it and how they're good, they don't talk about it like the story is like on par with other Final Fantasies.
Oh, really? Because that was like the combat and the story were like the two things I heard were like the standout things about that game. Maybe I'm wrong then.
Nope, because that's what I said. In my opinion, only matters on Final Fantasy 6.
I heard from the most reliable source of Final Fantasy information that this game is actually really good. Listen, when we're comparing fucking Geneva, fucking Final Fantasy 7.
Geneva, what the fuck you just said, dog? I'm about to kick your ass out of this podcast right now.
Yeah, the start of everything. When you compare Final Fantasy 7 and 16, like when it comes to stories and all that, like you can see,
Well, no,
you see the depth.
Here's the thing. When it comes to Final Fantasy 16 story, it's very good, and the biggest problem it has is its pacing, and I think that's really it. Really, it's just like sort of its pacing. It just feels like it's too long, and it doesn't really wrap up what it needs to wrap up. But in any case, yeah, I mean, it does the Final Fantasy thing where like it has like a problem that it introduces you to, and then it shifts gears near the end of it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. And I think it works really well because they do gradually get into that. It's just that gradual pivot. It feels like it's like at a slower pace, whereas something like Spider-Man 2, it's very snappy, and it's, the story moves along. Like, it's a little slow at the start, but when it gets going, it gets fucking going. And in Baldur's Gate 3, so you mentioned before how you kind of like slowed down near like Act 3 because you're just so inundated with all this sort of content and different stories. So does that affect why you think Alan Wake 2 will be winning this one?
I don't know, because now that I think about it, like when I think about narrative, it's like I am also thinking about like the ways that like the narrative in Baldur's Gate 3 that you can really tailor make it to like your own personal story based off of like decisions, right? It's so decision like centric and like focused on like you could take the story in several different directions, and I think that's so impressive, and it'll probably get recognized because of that. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I just feel like Alan Wake being as bizarre and just weird is just like it's one of those games that the critics love these kinds of games. You know what I mean? The art house, A24 kind of kind of stuff, right? Um, and right now I'm at the point with Alan Wake where like a lot of it isn't making a lot of sense, but from what I hear, by the end of it, it will. Like it really sticks the landing, so I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I don't know, just the way that I see people talking about this game's story when they've finished it, it I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if it won this one.
Okay.
I will say to add to your point of the storytelling, freedom, choice freedom that Baldur's Gate has. Uh, I've recently come to see like a bunch of people just don't vibe with the analysis paralysis kind of thing where you just have to decide on so many things, and sometimes you just want the game to tell you, "Hey, go here," and it's like, "Okay, I'll go there." And I think that's the big competition here. Like with Alan Wake, I assume it's just like, yeah, no, just go down this hallway, and you're like, all right. With Baldur's Gate, it's like, all right, you want to talk to the squirrel? Kick it, fucking, and you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? So like, I don't know. This one not clear cut for me for sure. I think if gaming is to prevail in humanity, Baldur's Gate should win because storytelling in that is insane because it's fucking D&D in a game and they achieved it somehow. You have the dice and everything. Now, when it comes to linear, I think Spider-Man. It's just Spider-Man is linear, yet it tells like 4 different stories at once.
It's very strong contenders here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I go back to Final Fantasy 16 where the story has like its really big epic moments. Wow, excuse you. Really big epic moments and really great character driven moments as well. But yeah, there's just when it comes to these other nominees here, I feel like they did a little stronger, a little more tighter compared to what we got in 16. And that's actually one of the things that I was not worried about, but one of the things that I saw coming when it comes to that game because of the 14 developers, where their pipeline, their experiences from MMOs, right? So they understand storytelling in a more gradual fashion and a little more slower paced compared to the single players that we played on here. So that's one of the things I was expecting that would kind of get knocked for. But either way, the story is really strong, but compared to the other ones here. What's up, Press Alpha?
Gotcha.
All right, so cool. Up to the next one, best game direction. We're actually almost done, fellas. So best game direction.
I feel like this is like easy, as easy as it could possibly be.
Okay. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I think
Creative vision and innovation.
Yeah, I think it's Alan Wake 2.
Creative vision and innovation.
Like this feels like that category that you associate with like the director, right? Like this is always the award that no matter what year, Miyazaki will win this one. This is no matter what year, I feel like Kojima will win this one, right? Druckmann,
Right.
whenever he's in it, he will probably win this one, right? Same thing, like the games with like where the direct, like you can really feel the director's vision and every ounce of like what he wants to do with this game is the one that will usually win this one. It's the same thing with why Death Stranding won in 2019, right? Like that was such a weird game that had a very specific vision. Like, and it was like damn what anyone thinks. Like this is what I want to do with this game. I don't care if people like it or don't like it. Like I have a very clear thing that I want to do with this game, and I'm gonna do it no matter what people think. And I think Sam Lake is in very much similar that like there's a lot of weird things in this game. There's a lot of swings, a lot of risks, but it feels a lot of like I don't care what people think. I'm going to take those swings. I'm going to take those risks, and you can feel like every bit of Sam Lake like in this game. And yeah, that's just why I think like this is his award without question.
All right.
Interesting. What do you think? Because Super Mario, you could apply the same argument to Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda, right?
I was gonna say that with Zelda, you have the inverse. It's creative vision, but it gives that to you. Kind of the same with Baldur's Gate. It lets you tailor the experience. It's up to you to determine what the creative vision is in this journey. Now, you're right. I haven't played Alan Wake, but if it's in the same vein as FromSoft, where it's like, oh shit, the artistic liberties here are insane, and like the press loves that, yum, 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 then yeah, sure. But man, it's just wonder. It's been near a decade since a 2D Mario has been innovative. Like this shit actually, it's insane. I can echo what you just said. So, but towards wonder, but in a more lighthearted way because it's not as insane. It's insane. Like it's psychedelics, kind of insane. But you're not fighting demons or whatever you're fighting in Alan Wake. I don't know, man. Honestly, this is not a clear cut nomination for me. I would vote for Mario because it's the one that's really kind of like done me justice, like in terms of how I'm viewing these categories. In terms of what's winning, I feel like everyone's gonna be like bullshit, 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 and they're gonna vote for everything. But honestly, Zelda, because of the creativity, freedom that it provides you. So that's my vote.
Okay. I mean, that's very strong arguments there. I think it makes it harder, right? Because Alan Wake 2 is, again, so you already talked about that, and Super Mario Bros. The same thing. I could see both of those getting this award because Super Mario Brothers is definitely just that harking back to like making video games awesome, right? With the original and the way they innovated with Wonder here. Alan Wake 2 brings out that weird and kookiness that we talked about before. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is something that's already great before, and now they just really opened the floodgates here. Spider-Man 2, again, same thing, very strong vision and direction for what they want this game to be, especially with two different Spider-Men that you're playing as, and really giving the credit to both of them and telling not just one story here, you're telling both stories, and they did it in such an amazing way with Venom and everything. And then you have Baldur's Gate 3, which is the one that I think is going to win. And that will be my vote because they really brought the D&D experience in a way that we never really saw before and into the mainstream, that made it accessible, that made it fun, that made it personal, that made it an experience that you can't get anywhere else. Not to say you can't say the same for everything else in here, but there's something that's really special about Baldur's Gate 3 when it's done. So I think that's what's going to win.
I will not be mad.
Honestly, I won't be mad if any of these win.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and then that leads to
games are art.
Exactly, and that leads into our final category, fellas, for the night. That is Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
You know what game isn't in here?
Choo.
All aboard!
Hey,
Where
man,
we heading?
I said it. I'm just saying.
You did. That's what you did.
And then next thing I know, I look on my Twitter and I see Xbox tax trending.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny. You were right, man. I'll give you your flowers on this one, man. You were 100% right.
Bro.
There's a lot of people that are like, man, the game was gonna give. You had to have one of the big three in there. You had to give them a petty vote. It's all politics. People to
give those flowers to Starfield and bury it.
Those 120 outlets didn't give a shit about your politics. They say fuck your politics about video game.
You know what's crazy?
It was just so easy to know that, like, when you just look around the press, see how they talk about that game.
Yeah,
like everyone consensus with all of them is that like it was all right. like they have that sort of vibe about it. So it's just like I don't understand. I don't know how anyone realistically thought that game would make it in here. Regardless, I think this one is easy. But still, like looking at this list, man, what a lineup, right? Like,
I
Mhm.
was so
goddamn.
happy with it. Yeah, when they're listing nominees back to back, I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh yeah, that's cool. Wow, okay, that makes sense too because I just played that game and it's amazing. And then yeah, so everything just made sense to me. It's not like there's not one outlier here from what I feel like.
Mhm.
Nope. My vote, and even though I haven't finished it, I know enough about it, and I know enough about the source material to say that objectively, this is the only time in history. Well, I'll say objectively because that shit don't exist. Everything's an opinion. Everything's man-made. Uh, the gamiest of games, creative freedom, action, adventure, romance. You can become a bear and fuck. Baldur's Gate.
So you say that though, but can I ask this question? Did anybody really pay attention to Baldur's Gate 3 before the bear sex thing? Besides you, Soul, because you were playing Divinity.
Besides me,
Yeah.
I think the wider mainstream, that's when they paid attention. But like
The
they're
bear
they're
sex thing, right?
obviously,
Yeah.
No,
yeah, that
Okay.
was probably when people like started paying attention. But like there
Exactly.
honestly,
there was oh god.
sorry. Honestly, man, the sex scene, the sex scene was among just the weirdness. It's just the weirdness. Like for me, it wasn't the sex scene. It was the squirrel. It was you don't know why you kicked it. Like you don't know why you just kicked the fucking squirrel. Why? Because it bit you. Why would you even fight a squirrel? And I'm like, what am I watching? Is this a game? Like,
Oh my
what
god.
is going? And then I see the bear sex scene, and I'm like, you can fuck a bear, bro. Sign me up.
So what we're gonna say.
But yeah, it's Baldur's Gate 3.
All right.
Which man, like going into this year, we would have I think we all assumed that it would be Zelda. Um
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm thankful that another game came by and kind of like made it interesting, you know?
Several
I'm
games
glad to be
came by,
wrong.
man. Several games did.
True, true.
Because even then, like I was on the high with Zelda, right? And then boom, Street Fighter 6 dropped. Oh man, that game's good. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil 4 finally got to it. Baldur's Gate, Alan Wake, Super Mario Bros, Marvel Spider-Man. Damn, man, what a year.
Bang, bang.
It's like pops from the Way Umbrella show. Bang,
Let
bang, bang.
let's go down the line. How many from this list have we all played?
I
The only one I
played
haven't played is
5 out of 6. I didn't play Wonder. Yeah.
the only
What?
one I haven't played. The only one I haven't played is Alan Wake.
Okay. I've only played Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, and Resident Evil 4. So
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
After all the nominations, I couldn't stay away from Alan Wake. I was too interested in this concept and what it was doing,
yeah, it's tied with Baldur's Gate for most nominations.
which is crazy to me. I didn't think that was gonna be possible after Baldur's Gate and what it did.
Yeah. And Spider-Man is in second with 7 nominations.
Damn.
But yeah, that's it. I'm excited. How are you guys feeling about the show in general? I mean, the awards are one thing that's always exciting, but like announcement wise, I'm also excited to see what gets announced.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. Just to kind of cheer on the developers from the sidelines here, and I think I'm gonna be streaming it on my channel, on my Twitch channel.
Okay.
So we're gonna be reacting to all the nominations and the winners and the announcements. I'm really pumped to do that because this is a really great year, on top of all the stuff that we don't know about for next year. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for the Game Awards nominees. Really quickly, since we're running pretty long, I to kind of celebrate the PlayStation 4's 10-year anniversary, which is wild to think that that console is 10 years old already. Um, I wanted to kind of like go down the line. If you guys had like any memories of that console, how did you guys like? Do you guys remember when you first got it?
I
What
do.
was that like? What was the first like game or games that you booted up on the console? Like all of that. Let's take a little trip through memory lane with the PS4.
So I can start this off because I remember this vividly actually. It was an early Christmas present because at that time when PS4 released, we could not find it anywhere. And my dad came home because he knew that that's what I wanted for Christmas, but he came home, had a huge ass Walmart bag and brought it into the living room thinking that I wasn't there. And then I saw him walk through. I'm like, "Dad, what you got there?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it." And then, and then I saw like the glimpse of like you know how they kind of have like you can see the see-through bag like because it was like a white bag from Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I saw what it was. I was like, "Is that a PlayStation?" And he's like, yeah. And then my mom was like, just show it to him. And then so he actually brought out the box. I saw it was in that blue and white design box, right, with the fat PS4 on the cover, and on the back of it I think it was what, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and
Yeah, and Watch Dogs maybe?
yeah, probably Watch Dogs. Yeah. And one
What
of
a time, man.
my and one of my
Damn.
first games on that I played it was Resogun, which I fell in love with. Because that's actually one of like the launch PS Plus titles, I think. And Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was my first PS4 game that I can remember.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, that diving into that one, seeing all the water on the ship, and and everything with that was just like that was like what a return to Assassin's Creed that was, and to launch on PlayStation 4 being my first game or one of my first games I remember. Yeah, it was really special. So,
Nice.
mm-hmm.
I'll go really quickly. I don't really remember how I got it, which is funny because I can vividly remember how I got the PS3, and I can remember obviously how I got the PS5 because that was the first console that like I actually bought with my own money, so that was significant.
It
I
hurt.
remember
It
I
hurt, and it was sweet at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I remember like waiting, like watching the mailman through the window like every day to see if if he brought it this day, like a hawk. But yeah, PS4 for whatever reason I don't really remember how I or like yeah that day of like how I got. I assume that I got it on like Christmas. But yeah, I don't really remember much else. But I do remember this was well when we were still in high school during that time.
Yep.
And I remember though, so this is like God, the I was in this is we don't need this context of where I was living, but it was a house that I was living in for like Jesus, like the majority of my life. So I remember like my small ass bedroom that I was sharing with my stepbrother at the time, and me and him being crowded around our small shitty TV that we had at the time, and then just like putting it up together, even though it was mine, but like him being in the video games and just like him enjoying this moment right next to me. Um, and, and can you imagine just like me, maybe, I don't know, like 16 or 17 at the time, and then my brother stepbrother who's like maybe 23, 24 at the time, crowding around this tiny ass TV. First game that we put into the PS4, knack.
The
Wow.
the Mark 30 certified dub.
Yep. And yeah, that was the big showpiece for the PS4. That and it was a dark time, let me tell you, because it was Knack and Killzone Shadowfall that I got pretty quickly after that. Those were the two games I was playing for a pretty long time until I think the next game I got after that was oh God, maybe Watch Dogs, 'cause I think Watch Dogs came out like April or May of 2014 of the following year.
I'm so sorry.
So yeah, so Watch Dogs was actually not too far off. You know what? We can actually like go on our profiles and see. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'm too off from that. So it was like Knack, and then Shadowfall, and then yeah, and then it was Watch Dogs. Um, yeah, and then at some point like Assassin's Creed Unity, because I was still into Assassin's Creed at that time. Um, but yeah, I distinctly remember those first few games. And that was before like I was like really getting into like the PS4 is so significant for me personally because that felt like the generation that I got back into like hardcore gaming after the PS3. I just I for whatever reason I just wasn't gaming like I do now in terms of like the types of games that I was playing. So like the PS4 was like a renaissance for me where I rediscovered like that side of me. So that's why the PS4 will always be like just so important for me. And 2017 especially because like 2017, I'm curious like what your guys' is like most fun year of the PS4 was because 2017 was like the switch like flipping for me in the sense of like me playing games I've never played before. So it was like 20 January of 2017 started off with Gravity Rush 2 and then Yakuza 0 and me never having any experience with that franchise, just buying Yakuza 0 out of nowhere and really falling in love with that game. And then March was actually February was Horizon Zero Dawn, and then March was Nier Automata, playing that like right there, that's four incredible games. And then you roll into April, and that's Persona 5 again, a game that a franchise I've never really dabbled in before, right? So 2017, I always remember as the years like that was when I like really like something just like flipped and I became what I would call like a quote unquote like hardcore gamer. So yeah, PS4 man. What a great generation, man. But Walt, what about you, man? How did things start? Do you remember the day that you got your PS4 and like what were the first game or first games that you played on the PS4?
So I remember that what motivated me to get the PS4 is because back on the PS3, the games that I played, it was three of us. Me, uh, one of the people that I went to high school with that wasn't in the same homeroom with me, and then one that was, and we were like, we would play every game together. And then one day we're like, you know, are you guys gonna get that new console? It's like, yeah, like I hear like it runs better and all these things, and it's like, yeah, but like, and we were having issues with at the time. This is the game that defined it was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and on the PS3, it was abysmal. The lag, the frame rate issues, the constant connectivity issues, the party system. I still was rocking a Bluetooth and we had to be in game because there was no party system. And we're like, damn, this kind of sucks. Like it's starting to get difficult to play. And we all unanimously decide to get the PS4. And we slowly got it like in a month. Like each of us got a PS4. And we all hopped on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the PS4. And I was like, oh my God, why is everything so fast? Why am I wait? Oh, is this what the game looks like? Holy we just like my life was turned around. I was like, is every game this good on the and then I just started getting every PS3 game I had that was available on the PS4 on the PS4. I was like, oh my, why does everything move quicker? I didn't know what frame like what that meant. I wasn't too versed in the display situation and how that worked and like what 60 FPS even meant. Like I wasn't in the jargon kind of thing. And that's kind of what made me realize, oh, this has potential to ruin experiences if you go in with the expectations. Because if you just go in with nothing, it's like, oh my God, like it'll surprise you. But you can't go back though. I tried one day. I I think I had taken my PS3 to a different I think it was to my dad's place, the shop, and in the back we had like a little room and whatever. I took my PS3 and I was like, oh my god, I can't even. This is unplayable. This is horrible. I cannot go back to this. This is like, is this what a new console feels like? Because my PS3 was my first ever, quote unquote, mature console. I always only ever had Nintendo. My first Sony, my first PlayStation game was Assassin's Creed 2 and GTA 4. Those were the two games that broke the seal into, oh my god, games can be so much more than just wahoos. The game that popped the cherry for performance was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, surprisingly, because I don't even play Call of Duty like that anymore. I don't even play Call of Duty anymore. But that's the game that kind of like made me realize, oh no, like there's difference. Like, and it wasn't a remaster or anything. It was just the PS4 version. That's why when you said like, oh, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I was like, wait a minute, because I did play all of the Assassin's Creed on PS3, and then I started playing them on PS4. I'm like, oh my god, like I did play Black Flag on the PS4.
Yeah.
Blown away. Watch Dogs. I went to the midnight release for Watch Dogs on PS3. I got the guide, the big guide that they were selling. I won a T-shirt at the GameStop that they were doing. Like I was having a blast. And then I got the PS4 version. I'm like, oh my god, is that what Aiden looks like? Oh my god.
And now you wipe
so
your
cool.
ass with that T-shirt.
Bro, now I don't fit in that T-shirt.
You know what's funny though? The actual one of the launch Call of Duty games for that generation was Ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arguably the most boring fucking Call of Duty that they've ever made.
Yep.
But yeah, man, PS4, Advanced Warfare really kind of showed me a whole new world, and it just kind of snowballed from there. I won't lie, if I had known about the greatness of Bloodborne earlier, I would have bought that day one. But I remember like it was yesterday when Bloodborne was announced, I was actually scared. I looked at the trailer and I was like, this looks too scary. I hadn't yet popped the cherry to horror games.
You looked at
I'm
like, where's
surprised-
Bowser?
I'm like, wait, why is it so, the screams? But then it's crazy because I played Outlast before I even ever played Bloodborne. And then like every other game is not scary after you play Outlast once. But yeah, man. Advanced Warfare. Surprised because that game slaps still now. I can go back to it. Still a fun time. Still the best futuristic Call of Duty, in my opinion. So yeah, man. I didn't have a whole plethora of games starting off. Just Advanced Warfare and oh my god, and Destiny. Fucking Destiny, man. Because I played Destiny on the
Yeah, I got Destiny pretty close to like day one. I had a lot of time in Destiny 1.
Yeah, man. Destiny 1 and Call of Duty, those were my addictions back then. And Destiny 1, that was a major improvement. Which is crazy because now I look at the PS4 version and I look at the PS5 version and I'm like, oh my god, that PS3 version has to be fucking pixelated at this point.
Does anybody remember a little game called Drive Club?
No, I never played it.
Does anyone here remember a little game called PlayStation Home?
Oh man, yeah, PlayStation Home was so dope. Yeah, that was dope. I just remember too on PS4, which was early in that console's life cycle, where they had the live from PlayStation, where it was on separate tab on XMB, and you could look at the other people that are live streaming for all different kinds of games. No matter like what you searched in, there's always someone playing something and doing a live stream of it. But obviously, it's not on PS5 anymore because it got way out of hand, where people were just live streaming them having sex and doing drugs and shit. Like that tab got real crazy real fast, and Sony put an end to that hardcore. But man, those were some pretty fun times though. That was so much fun just to see what they got cooking.
Legitimately, we would tell each other, let's meet up next Friday again, right here. Yeah, and there'd be groups of us just like hanging out and talking. And it's like, yeah, man, like what'd you do today? Oh yeah, we went to school because we're fucking in middle school. Yeah. Like, what else are we doing?
Some wild stuff, man. Yeah. Deep Down was also a Capcom game up there that never saw light of day.
I will say the PS4 also introduced me to my first ever MMO, and that's ESO, and that kind of just
Oh yeah.
that also introduced me into friends that I have now, people that I still know now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Shout out to Transistor too. That was a good one.
Damn, we old, huh?
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah.
Oh.
But
Shout out to the
yeah.
PS4, man. Shout out to the PS4. That's gonna do it for the podcast, man. Yeah. I do you guys still have your PS4s?
Yes,
Yeah, I do, yeah. I
I have
I got the Kingdom Hearts 3 version. Yeah.
I have the PS4 Pro.
Gotcha. Um, yeah. I still hold the idea that the OG PS4, the launch PS4, is like one of the most beautiful consoles ever. I love the way that console looks.
Yeah, and the way you popped off like the cover too. Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
dope.
the shiny rhombus. Yeah, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that sounds like a
Um,
name from Rick and Morty. Ah, yes, the rhombus. The turtle también.
Yeah, that's when they had peak design for that console, in my opinion. Yeah, PS4 I think is the best. PS5 is like it goes out there. It's way out there.
So y'all think that the OG PS4 is the best console that Sony has designed?
I think so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Even though I really love the PS3 Slim.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
I
one's
was
also really good.
I was gonna say the PSP is also pretty good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say PS Vita, but then I remembered the touchpad on the back, and then I regretted my decision. That shit ain't.
Yeah.
I don't know what. That's another
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, I think PS4 is the best one,
Yeah.
but I do
I'd
have
say the PS3 Slim is I like the matte. I do like that they continue the matte trend with their consoles. I don't like glossy consoles. That shit sucks.
See, that's why I kind of like the PS3, the fat one, because that thing
Yeah.
was just a hulking monster. But you had like the little flap too. You had the little flap too that had like the USB dockets, I think it was in there, and then oh gosh, yeah, like that thing was just
love the way.
what?
Love the way that shit was a fucking monster.
It was so like, I think it was super heavy.
Fucking,
it was cool with the Spider-Man like logo, like lettering.
Yeah,
It's
for real.
super cool. Yeah. Love it.
But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the podcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether live or after the fact. Don't forget to like the podcast, share it out, all that good stuff. Gonna get started with these outros. Macho, why don't you kick things off for us, man?
Yes, sir. The King of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy fanatic, yo Boricua Macho, up on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all that jazz. Catch my live streams up on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Boricua Macho. We're going to be streaming Alan Wake 2 on Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Kingdom Hearts 2 and Yakuza 0 to follow afterwards. And stay tuned to the channel for more. We got a lot of content coming up, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be good stuff. So sub to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch channel, close to 50 followers. So help your boy out, and let's get this party right. What the hell?
Sorry, I fucking
God bless you. God bless you. I don't know if that was good luck or what. Either way, yeah, just follow me at Boricua Macho and let's have some fun with games, man. It's been a good time.
Walt, what's going on with you?
Well, my brother in Christ. This next week I'll be traveling, so I'll be taking my handheld with me, possibly, and I'll be diving into more Wonder, and I think continue Sea of Stars. I need to continue that, and it's a big journey. JRPG. I'm being careful with JRPGs lately because those motherfuckers come from nowhere. Like, oh, like a dragon. It's like, oh my god, it's so long. Aside from that, man, in terms of watching, I don't think I'm watching. I need to watch. I mean, I know what happens, but I need to watch that last episode of Attack on Titan. I haven't watched it, but I know what happens. It's pretty excited for that. I'm reading, catching up on manga. My hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, One Peak. Holy shit! What a manga. Oh my god. Manga is just like, oh, you thought I cooked? No, that was simply an appetizer. Here's the entree, motherfucker. Dude, it is phenomenal. That's just phenomenal. Uh Movies though. What was the last movie I watched? I don't remember. I've been watching. Oh, I mentioned last time I had watched Insidious. I watched Insidious, the Red Door. I want to say it's called the newest one.
Yeah, it's the latest one. Yeah,
that was pretty good. I liked it. Good scares here and there. What else? What else came out recently, man? Because I haven't really been watching a lot of the new ones because I don't think there's like a. Oh, I am not gonna watch the Marvels.
shout out to Hideo Kojima.
Yo, we got. Oh yeah, that was funny. Yo, we gotta wrap this up because I gotta pee.
Oh shit! So let me name all the let me name all the movies. So no, we can wrap it up.
I'm dying here.
My man said Vince Molly on what movies he's seen, he's gonna see, not gonna see, and so it's like I gotta pee, dog.
Well, you're done.
I am done.
Oh, you're just quiet there. So it's like, yeah, okay. So for me, yeah, just more Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake, and
peeing.
that's it. Yes, and that's it.
I like this water that I'm drinking right now.
We will see you guys in the next podcast. Until then, peace out.